Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be starting the training soon. So if you take a look at my screen that I have shared now, what you can do is you can actually log into the website as stated on my screen and register yourself for the learning portal. The learning portal access is actually a lifetime access. So you can actually access it with the coupon code stated on my screen also. Okay. If you have any issue, don't worry, we'll go through the same step later. Okay. Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. We are going to start the training soon. So as I mentioned, if what you can do is just log into, while waiting, what you can do is just log into this website here. When you log into this website here, you can actually see that you're able to register for the learning portal. They will ask you for a coupon code. So the coupon code for today is WP850. Okay. If you have any issue or login into the learning portal, not to worry, I'll go through this step later. Okay, let's see how many more to come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think everyone is here. Hopefully, that's my full attendance for today. So I'm going to start the course now. Okay, just so everyone can hear me, right? Okay, if cannot, just leave a chat. Just leave a message in the chat. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a quick introduction about myself first, and maybe you want to just understand more about who am I and what do I do. And at the end of my introduction, I'll probably go around the class also for you to do your introduction. During the introduction, what you can do is to share with me, maybe more about yourself, your name, which industry are you from, and of course, why are you here? Are you here because your company asked you to be here, or are you here because you want to learn something? Ultimately, what is your objective of coming to this course? Okay, so I'll start with a quick introduction about myself. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now, so if you can't see my screen, just do let me know. Okay, so this is a WordPress website creation course, and my name is Teck Seng. I've been a trainer with the Academy for the past 3 years. And besides doing training, normally I only do WordPress training, so it's probably twice a month or maybe once a month kind of training for me. Besides doing training, my full-time job is actually a project manager with Lemonade. So Lemonade is actually an agency, a web design agency. So I have been dealing with quite a bit of different industries, websites, and in terms of WordPress, mainly on WordPress itself. So I've been building websites for the past 17 years. And my first website came out when I was 13 years old, when I was actually with my secondary school. And I started building for my secondary school. Then I started building for my CCAs. Then subsequently, after I left secondary school, I came out to work with some of freelancers to do very small project, very small scale project, like maybe we're talking about $500 to $800 kind of skill project. Then after I went to service, I came out from service and started the agency. The agency was started about 9 years ago. So today we are a web design agency focusing more on web design plus search engine optimization as well. So today I built around 1,000 over website together with as a freelancer and together with my team in the agency as well. Now these are some of the clients that I have in the agency that we have built the websites for. So we have from different from home appliances, from organization, from schools, from medical cares, and some professional services. Now I just want to show you this because what I want to do, what I want you to do is when you share with me about yourself, do share with me your industry so that as we move on in the course, I can adjust the course in a way so that we can take some example in the industry, some good practices or some good example that you can attain or maybe apply to your own website or own industry as well. Okay, now that's about me. So this is my contact details, my email and my contact number. I will flash this again at the end of the class, at the end of the session as well. If not, then you can still reach me through the academy anytime if you want. This is my contact number. You want to take down, you can just take down the details. If you have any issue related to website or related to any web development or search engine optimization, you can still look for me. I'll try to help assist you as much as I can. And also, it will be good for you to maybe drop me an email. Then usually we'll reply on the next working day, if possible. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to maybe just welcome you to the course, and if possible, I would like to get you all to share with me more about yourself as well as your industry. What are you here for? The objective of you being here. Okay, so if possible, shall we start with Andrew Yo?
Okay, my name is Andrew. I'm a property agent. I have attended this WordPress course conducted by Teck Seng before.
Oh,
so
hello.
I tried building, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I tried building my own website, but along the way also cannot remember some of the things that were taught. So I'm coming in as to take this as a refresher course.
Okay, what are some of the issues you face, Andrew?
Like in class we learn, but when it come up to practice, not so easily. Forget some of the things.
Forget some of the things. Roughly, you don't mind sharing with me, roughly when after you finish the class, when do you start doing the website?
Let me think about I attended class September, about 1 month later.
September lah.
Yeah. 1 month later, October, I bought the hosting website, I bought the domain, then try to build. Not so
Didn't work
easy.
out. Okay, no problem. So what we had done is also prepare checklists for you, for all the students. So basically the checklist is kind of like a step by step kind of document whereby you can refer back to see.
So Teck Seng, maybe one advice, I think is on the third day, I think rush too much, Wait.
Third day, the assessment part, is it?
No, before the assessment, there are a lot of things. I think if can go more into practical, I think would be, more of the
right. So
second half day and third day, I think that one quite difficult to catch up.
Okay, so usually what I'll be doing is that on the last part of the class, usually we will give you about an hour to go and play around with your site.
Yeah.
Then from the play around, you have some errors and things like that. Then you can come back to us and come back to me, and I'll advise you from there.
I also have a problem. During the class we have backup of what we have done, right?
Okay.
Then after that, I try to retrieve. I also don't know how to retrieve. So I start from scratch. So
okay.
That's why I have this problem.
Okay, understand. Okay,
thank you.
Understand. Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. The next one, can I have NG Liao?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angie.
Hello.
I actually runs a cafe, and I'm also a part-time real estate agent. So in both business, I see that now in the digital era, there's a need to have a website for both of my business. I've learned quite some time ago. Actually, learned how to build a website, but it's only focusing for real estate, and it's a single site. So now make it a multi-listing site, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to customize it. So and I also want to learn how to build a website for my cafe business. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. So previously, when you learn about the web design, what kind of platform were you using?
Also WordPress.
Yeah.
Okay. But the template is given by the trainer. So we are always using the template. Okay, it's quite easy when you're using the template with step by step. But if you want to use a different template, that's when I don't know how I can change the template, and also how to create it into other purpose website.
Okay, I understand. So although we are still doing WordPress here, so there's many ways of doing WordPress. So what I'm teaching is actually one way of doing. If you have seen anything that is easier for you to understand, do let us know in the class so that we can let everyone know as well.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Angie. Next one, can I have Cindy? Cindy Lee. Cindy, can you? Hello.
Sorry, I tried to unmute. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Cindy.
I'm Cindy. So basically, I have a small beauty business. So basically, I wanted to take this time to actually pick up, to see if I'm able to actually create a own WordPress website myself.
Which industry again, sorry?
Beauty.
Yep. And have you touched on the website before? Have you worked on the website before?
Oh, totally no.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, because I tried, actually I wanted to engage someone to do it for me. But however, we will still be the one who to give them the content and everything. So every time I'm actually stuck with providing the content.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you don't know what to provide, basically.
Yeah, in this case, maybe it seems I'm going to provide everything, so I do it myself, right?
Okay, no problem. During I think tomorrow during the class, we'll go through with you how to do planning for a website. That part you can speak to us more. Maybe we can speak to you more about how to prepare the content or what kind of content should you put during the planning. All right?
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Okay, can I get the next person here? Gavin Chu.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon. So I'm in the events industry. I've touched on WordPress. I'm trying to currently maintain the current WordPress for my company. But at the same time, I'm trying to create something of my own. But I have no idea how to create it from scratch, because what I've already done is someone who has created before based on a theme. So aside from that, no idea.
And it's also WordPress, are you saying? Right.
Both are WordPress.
When was it created, the WordPress?
The one for a company, I think it was created in 2016.
Okay.
So
I don't change.
Yes. Not me. I was just thrown into it. So
okay. Understand. So when you refer to your 2016 website, do you do any management to it? Were you there to do management, or you didn't really touch it?
Well, I was put in charge of it about a month ago, and I tried to orientate my way around.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to. I tried to. So I'm hoping to actually see what I can do in more detail and understand the mechanics of it. You see.
Okay, understand.
So,
usually, whatever you have in 2016, there might be quite a bit of changes, because it's 4 years already, 4 or 5 years already. So, the fundamental wise is still going to be the same, but some of the way of doing it, the practices are actually have already changed. So maybe you can refer back to the course as well as your own website to see how things is different at your end, so we can help each other later.
Oh, that would be great. I hope to get some advice on it actually as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gavin.
Thanks.
The next person, can I get Francis? Francis, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Francis. I am also a property agent.
All right.
Seems a lot of property agents here, huh? But I hardly do residential properties. My focus is in rental of offices and commercial space like retail space, F&B, but mostly for offices in Raffles Place.
Okay.
I tried to build a website using WordPress some years ago, but it was very complicated. Ended up, I did it in weeks. After building the website, I tried to transfer everything from Wix to another platform, but it doesn't allow me to do so.
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking maybe I should try to do it on WordPress rather than using on Wix. And because the cost for advertising in Property Guru is going up every year significantly. So I thought I should build my own website and focus more on my website.
Okay. So the other time when you say you try to transfer from Wix to another platform, which platform were you considering again?
WordPress.
Our press. So you plan to move over. So right now your Wix is still operating.
It's not operating already.
But the content wise, is it still there or?
Yeah, it's still there. I mean, creating a website using Wix compared to WordPress, it seems Wix is more easy. And WordPress seems a little bit complicated without any guidance. I actually create the Wix website without any guidance, just by referring to their site and then do it on my own. It's pretty easy, but then once you create it, it's there already. It wouldn't allow you to move to anywhere.
Yeah, that's a problem with closed source. CMS. We'll go through that later. In the first few slides, you will understand why is it so difficult for you to move around if you are in Wix. Okay. Thank you so much, Francis.
Thank you.
Next person, can I get Jessin Tan?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello.
I'm currently working in a beauty and wellness industry.
Okay.
And I have some background doing website before, but that is like maybe 8 to 10 years ago. So I don't think it's very relevant now.
Okay.
And back then I think it's using like Flash and CSS. So it's quite difficult.
Wow, so you are the pioneer batch.
I didn't get into it so because I think the coding part really put me off
Right.
Yeah, so I think now WordPress is quite essential. So I think it could add some value to self and the company as well. So yeah,
So
wanted
prior to that, all the way your company, is there a website with your company or?
there is a website, but it's not very user friendly, I would say.
Okay.
Actually, my bosses wanted to revamp the website. So probably this course will have some. At least I'll know how the back end works and how to manage it using.
I see. Okay, understand. Okay, sure. So, since it's going to be a new start, maybe it's good also you can learn some good practices for a website. So, sustainable, you can create a more sustainable website for yourself. Okay, thank you, Jessie. So maybe the next one, can we get Jenny Chan?
Okay, hi, I'm Jenny. I work in the same organization as Jessin.
Okay.
So what she has told you, some background is similar. Basically, we are here, number one, because of circuit breaker. Under normal circumstances, I don't think both of us will be attending courses because we are very busy.
Yeah, I think it's a good time, take some time off, learn something.
So because you asked us for the reason why we are here. So number two, to help the company get absentee payroll.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, coming back to the reason why we are basically here, because like she said, we actually had a website which was done by external source, I think less than maybe, I put it like maybe 1 year ago, and it's not working out for us, and we're so frustrated. Every time we go back to the person who did it, he wanted more money to do the changes, and he refused to give us all the instructions as to how we could change it ourselves. Then Justin stumbled and said, oh, probably it's because the format it was created, which was very difficult. So we could navigate around it no matter how much we tried. So we gave up. And in fact, prior to attending this course, we already saw some other vendors to redo, you know.
Okay.
The whole website. We already got codes and all that. But then, after Chinese New Year happened, COVID-19 started. And so that was put on hold. And then we were actually, during this period, we were also thinking what to do with the website. We are like, because besides this, we got other matters to handle in the office and to take care of. So then I told Jessie, why don't we just go and look for something that is relevant to our job? Because we both of us have been attending other courses, like customer service and so on and so forth, which is not directly relating to us, well, our job scope, but it's just that, as I said to you, that we are all there for the absentee payroll.
Okay.
So the thing is, right now, both of us, to be honest, I think Jessie and I have sort of told ourselves, let's attend this course and do the website ourselves. You know? Yeah, so I hope you can give us as much instruction as possible, because I am the one who provide the content. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if you're not too free to create a website your own, right? The course also help you to understand more of the basic stuff that you can look into when you hire a agency.
Yeah, we will know whether he's telling us is something that whatever lah, you know.
Right. Even if they don't give you anything, you still be able to figure out something.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
So I'm here to help lah. So in case if you really need help on the current website, you can let us know. Or you can let me know and I can see.
Yeah. Glad to be tapping on your expertise, definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jenny. The next person can I have LG. Hello, LG. Yeah.
My name is Lula.
Sorry, your name again?
Lula. Lula. That's what the L stands for.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Lula.
Yeah. I'm a project manager, but I'm taking a break now. So more like picking up some new skills. Not as serious as everybody else. Just picking up some new skills. I tried using WordPress before.
Okay.
Didn't really get very far.
Okay.
Actually, I have more specific questions in terms of like websites these days are accessed not just on the desktop but also on mobile devices. So whatever website that we're building will be mobile responsive.
Of course, yes, you will.
Yeah, and my second question is, if in future I want to provide a search feature on the site, how do I do that?
To what? Sorry.
Search feature.
Oh,
search
feature.
capability on the site.
Okay. Okay.
Is that something that WordPress can help with, or is something more customized and more cheap?
Depend on what you want to search for, because let's say for example you are doing for like events also has a search for events or directories. So all this actually depends on the function you're looking for. The search is just a very general feature, right? So at the end of the day, depend on what is in the data. Is it a list of directories? Is it a list of events? Is it a list of members? All this will depend on what you want actually. But
Maybe when
either
we
way,
get to that, yeah.
But either way, it's still it should be quite easy if you can find a good plugin to use. Yeah, so a good extension. So maybe later we can go through review. Later part of the day, you probably will be going through what is plugins. From there, you can understand more of plugins. Okay. And thank you so much, Lula. Thank you. Can I get Kim Quinn, Leong Kim Quinn? Sorry.
Hi.
I can pronounce your name correctly.
Okay, you can call me Jensen also.
Okay, okay, great.
I'm also in the property line. So my intention of this course is to build my own website.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Jensen, right?
Yes.
Okay, next person, can I get May? There are two May here. So we start with the May, the first one with the red icon on your display, or yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, my name is May. So I work with a corporate and executive training company.
Okay.
We provide professional training to business leaders, as well as create in-house programs for companies, all sorts, different sizes. And recently I've sort of become the default web administrator. Which is why I'm here. So we have an existing website on WordPress. And I've just done a lot of Googling and reading out, trying to make simple changes here and there. But I think I just need something a lot more structured, understand just how it works and how to make changes. Yeah.
Okay, so at the current moment, you have the website. Is it on WordPress as well, or?
Yes.
So you tried to manage the website.
Yeah.
Before,
yeah.
How was it so far?
That's why I'm here.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, you read everything and it seems to be it's really customizable and user friendly. But I think a lot of what people are saying here is when you actually come down to it, it's really not so straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah. And also because we have integrated a learning management system onto our website.
Right.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of complicated things a lot more.
Actually, there are different ways of doing WordPress. So again, if the way, maybe when during a class you have any question about your own site, you can just let us know. We can see how we can share a bit of knowledge here and there for you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, May. Next one will be May also.
May.
Yeah, hello, May Lim.
Hi everyone, I'm also May. I work in a corporate comms department in a non-profit organization. So the website, it's a WordPress website. It's one of the platforms that I manage, one of the content platforms that I manage. So I do mainly content management and basic maintenance, but we don't really have tech support in that way. It's very thin on the staff team.
Okay.
So I find that one more, I have to acquire knowledge on plugins and customizations. And I even find myself having to learn some HTML to do some coding. So it is I think it's high time I start to learn from some experts.
Okay.
And during this time, we're also trying to revamp our website. So I find it useful if I pick up more knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So right now, how's your revamp coming?
We just looked through some themes and decided on some themes to use. Hasn't really kicked off yet because there are a lot of, during this period, a lot of corporate comms things that needs to go out. So I'm busy having to do all that as well.
I think the good thing is you haven't started yet. So at least now, later we will share with you more about what is themes and what are some of the things that you should look out for. And at least you got the basic knowledge or fundamental to choose what you think is good and sustainable for your own websites.
Yeah, that would be very useful.
Okay, thank you so much, Radin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next person. Eng Ya Sing.
Hello.
Hello.
You can call me NS.
Okay.
I'm from travel industry, and I'm here because I'm actually from the press printing team.
Okay.
But my boss asked us like here to attend the course because want us to help the digital team a bit on some promote page. We have our website which is I think it's from Wordpress also, but on those promote page and campaign page might need the digital team to help a bit. That's why I have zero knowledge on it. That's why attending this class.
Okay, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you. Okay, next one maybe you can get, let's see. There's one more person. Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany is the last one. Tiffany, hello. Okay, Tiffany, I think she cannot use a mic. So Tiffany, maybe you want to share with us via a chat. I help you read out to them. Or do you prefer not to do? Okay. So you all can see the chat in the Zoom as well. So she says she's a senior designer in an event company, experienced with WordPress during her intern days many years back. Joined this course because due to COVID, company trying to change the way we work. Physical event is not going to happen anytime soon. Okay. I have some clients, Tiffany, anyway, I have some clients with who are doing events as well. And yeah, they are all moving to online webinars and events as well. So I hope to provide you with some experience to help you with your upcoming website or with your own website. Okay. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. So I just want to answer to Jenny, don't mind. Jenny was asking me whether is there a screenshot taken for attendees. Yes, there will be. The admin side will take a train. My guys, my staff, my colleague will be taking the screenshot at our end. Okay, so not to worry. Okay, Jenny. All right, thank you, everyone. I hope I do not miss out anyone in the list. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, just nice. I don't think I miss out anyone in the list. Okay, so let's get started first. Before that, I just want to introduce to you that the Academy has actually provided you guys with a learning portal. Now, this learning portal is going to be a lifetime portal, meaning that even if after the course and you decided that you need to have access to the learning portal, you can still have access to it. So this is actually the link to the learning portal. So for now, right, can I just get you all to log into this address here, equinetacademy.com/wp-resource, and do a registration over there. Now, if you're already registered with the Academy before, you can just do a login directly and then enter the coupon code. It still works the same. Okay, so for this course, I will advise you all to use Google Chrome or Firefox so that during the development later, it'll be easier for you all. Now, when you are trying to register yourself with the portal, okay, please register yourself using a private email. That means your own personal email, because let's say if you use a company email and if you happen to leave the company later, you might not be able to access later. So always use a private email. Okay. And once you register already, I just need you all to write down this on your paper and pen, on your notebook, to indicate that this is the learning portal and this is your own username, this is your own passwords. Because we're going to access the learning portal quite frequently during the course itself. All right, so if you take a look at my screen, this is what you're going to see when you try to log in to the site. Okay, so the first thing you see is this gain access button. So click on the gain access button. You can then enter your email address, your own email address, password, and confirm password, first name and last name. Then after you do that, you can just put it in your notebook, just to remember that this is your user login details. Over at the right hand side, you will be able to see a coupon code there. So you just click on the fields, click on the link and enter your coupon code. Today's coupon code is WP850. I'll copy this in the chat so that it's easier for all of you, and I'll copy the link in the chat as well. Now, once you register yourself, once you key in the coupon code WP850, you can click on the apply coupon. And right now the portal will be free now, so you can just click on buy now. Again, for those who have registered with the Academy before, you don't really have to register again, just need to log in. Okay, now once you register yourself and you are logged in, this is what you're gonna see. You can just refer to my screen again. Okay, you should be able to see a WordPress website creation course, and when you click on it, this is what you see as well. Okay. All right, so can I just have a show of hands if you have already successfully logged in? Just give me a thumbs up by using the emoticon. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, May. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Cindy. Sorry, got interrupted. No problem. So Jenny, just log into in the chat itself. You can see the link, right? In the link, you can just log in and then enter your coupon code 850. WP850. Sorry.
Yeah, I done that.
Okay, so register yourself. You should be able to gain access to the learning portal.
Yeah, okay.
Now just take a look at my screen. I'm just going to do a quick introduction, orientate you around in this learning portal. So on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see this WordPress website creation course slides. This is the slides that we'll be going through later over here. And you don't really have to download it now unless you want to take a look on your own screen. But usually I will just flash it on my screen. Then there's a learner's guide. This is the full WordPress software manual, which you don't really need to look into this portion. So this is just for information. Then we have a WordPress video tutorials. Now, most of the topics that we're going to cover during the course will be covered in the video tutorials as well. So you can actually gain access to the video tutorials by clicking on it. So these are the different topics that we'll be covering. Then under toolkits, this is somewhere that you can you want to access quite frequently. So we have things like, for example, we got recommended WordPress plugins. We also got the DV theme access, which is a theme that we're going to use later, as well as some other plugins that you can see over here. Now, the last one is something that you want to know as well after training support. Now, after the training is over, you'll be able to come for a refresher course for within a year. This refresher course, you will go through the same session again, whether is it in classroom, maybe after the circuit breaker is over, or online, or online section. So you can come back within a year for a refresher. Then the other one is called the WordPress booster sessions. We're trying to increase the number of booster sections to perhaps every month to see how we can help our students, trainees here. So the WordPress booster session is different from the refresher course, because the WordPress booster session is more direct to your questions. So you need to be here with a list of questions, then we can answer to you straight away. So if you have not created a website, usually you don't come for this booster section until you start creating and you have some question for us. Then you come here, then we'll be able to answer you during the booster session itself. Now there's for every course you have got 2 complimentary booster sections. But of course, when after the booster section, if you still need help, you can always look for me or come back to me for any assistance or any advice that you need. Okay. Now, if you prefer to book the sessions via my colleagues in the academy, you can just contact them directly. They will do the booking for you as well. Okay, so you don't really have to come in. Now, just remember the login to this portal, because as I mentioned, you're going to use this portal soon, quite frequently in the course itself. Okay. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to start with the training by showing you more on the slides itself. Now, this is the slides that you will get when you download from the learning portal. Okay, so you can just look at my screen for now. Now we're going to start with the WordPress creation course. So before that, I just want to let you know, maybe to let you understand why you need a website. Now, a lot of users, a lot of trainees and students, or even clients, that they are asking me that, why do I need a website when I'm really doing so well on my social media? And how does the social media help in my own business if I do not have a website? Now, if you are very good on social media platform, that is a plus point, of course, for a business. However, right, if you try to search for a service keywords, like for example, if you are into like beauty and wellness, and you decided to search for beauty and wellness or spas, you realize that you don't really come out if you're on social media. Now, because search engine will always rank website first, then social medias. Okay, so your social media account is always going to lose out to those with a website. Okay, so because of this, right, having a website for a business is very important for your business. Okay, if you want more sales to be coming in. Of course, a lot of people are searching using Google and search engines as well. So for example, if you need a salon, you probably will be searching for a salon near me on your Google, instead of just go through the whole street and check for services like that. So ranking up here, ranking on search engines is your first step to your website success. It's been having a successful website. Okay, so now to start with a website, this is something that many of you might be very complicated, because this is the first step that you need to take. So to start with a website, the first thing that you need to have is these 3 essentials. Okay, what are the 3 essentials? The 3 essentials includes your domain name, your web hosts, as well as your web application framework. Now, I just want to put things into layman term. For domain name itself, if you need, let's say for example, if you buy a piece of land, the land comes with an address itself. But with the address, it doesn't mean you have anything on the land, right? So the address is actually a domain name itself. So having a domain name doesn't mean you have a website. It doesn't mean this way. After you have your domain name, you will need to have your web host. So same thing, on a piece of land, you will still need to have your building, or you still need to have your house built up. So this will become your web host. So on a piece of land, it comes with an address. On the piece of land, you need to build your house. This is your web host itself. So the web host is basically whatever thing that stores inside your server. Okay. Now, how to make the house pretty, or what is inside the house, is basically your web application framework. Okay. So web application framework is can be your website, can be anything else. Now, web application framework is a very general term. It's a very high level term. It will consist of there are many types of web application framework. One type of web application framework is what we call CMS, or content management system. And some of you will probably know CRM. If you are doing sales, you'll probably know CRM. Some of you will probably know like HRM. When you are in your corporate world, you probably need to log into HRM to apply for leave and things like that. All these are actually web application framework. They are web applications. So for websites, right, we use this thing called CMS. So what exactly is CMS? We'll go through that in the next few slides. Okay, moving on. So how are they connected? So we'll start from basically the user first. So you as a user, you will basically log into an address using your web browser. So your web browser with the address will then call your server over here. And from your server, using the domain name, they'll call the server. From the server, right, they will then pull out the web application framework, which is your CMS, and then present to you in your browser itself. Okay, so for example, today you key in like facebook.com. So facebook.com is the domain. The domain will then call the server. The server will then pull out a web application framework into your browser. Okay, so this is for our WordPress, for our website, we are using CMS as web application framework. Now, the whole process, right, should take no longer than 3.5 seconds. Okay, anytime if your website takes longer than 3.5 seconds to load, then perhaps your website is a bit too slow. So this is something that you want to consider. You can upgrade your server, you can do some coding, or subsequently later in the part of the class, we'll teach you how to do some ways, how to look at the page speed and understand, what can be improved. Now we have been talking about CMS itself. So what exactly is CMS? Okay, so this will bring us to the next slides. Now CMS is a
Sorry, can I ask questions along the way?
Sure, no problem.
On your previous slide, the domain name, right? I understand the WordPress free version doesn't give you the possibility of changing your domain name. Is that correct?
Okay, so maybe what you're referring to is WordPress.com's service, right? So this is actually different from what we are learning. So hold your question first. Later when we go through to the particular slides, I will explain to you more. Is that all right for you?
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay, so coming back to web application framework, so it's in short CMS, content management system. It's basically a system for you to update your content or create your website using the system itself, so that you can lessen your load of learning coding on the website itself. But of course, the CMS itself actually still require you to learn some codings. However, what we do is we actually implement another thing called a page builder on top of your CMS. So this page builder will then help you to write all the code as you start creating your websites. I'll go through that, what is a page builder, in the slides coming up. Now, coming back to the next, let's go on to the next slides. Now, we focus on CMS, or when we talk about CMS, there are actually two types of CMS. One is your open source CMS. The other one is your closed source CMS, okay, or proprietary CMS. Now, open source CMS are like, for example, your WordPress, your Magento, as well as your Joomla CMS. Now, these are all open source. On the closed source, it's basically Wix, Shopify, and Squarespace. Now, if you realize, right, on the closed source part, right, it's basically a website, right, that will allows you to log in, that will require you to log in, create an account with them, then you can start building your websites. But whatever is in the open source, right, basically you can, you do not need to register with anyone, except of course the three things are the domain, the host, and of course the CMS here, in terms of WordPress. So WordPress itself, so open source CMS itself, it means that you are actually able to download the software and use it on your own server to create your own website without paying any license fee. That means you don't have to, technically you don't have to pay to use this software. However, right, for the closed source one, like Wix, Shopify, and Squarespace, like, you're required to pay for the software license itself. Of course, they do have some free plans and everything, but in short, you basically need to pay them for the license to use the softwares. So for closed source softwares, right, like closed source like Wix and Shopify, right, basically you are actually depending on the business itself in terms of support and in terms of how to use the websites. So they are the one who created a system for you. But for open source software, WordPress, Magento, and Joomla, these are basically community software. That means a lot of people will be able to download it for free and use it to create their own websites. So what happens is that it forms a very big group of community users who are using WordPress or using Magento, who are using Joomla. And these people who is in the community right now will be able to help you as more than, people who are in the more than the other software that is actually a closed source software. So I just
Can I
want
ask
to
a question, Teck Seng?
Yeah, May, go ahead.
So then what are the advantages of closed source over open source? Like, why would anyone use Wix or Shopify or Squarespace?
And then this will bring me to my next slides.
Okay.
Right, so I break the key points into 5 things. One is support, customization, costs, security, and portability. So basically, right, for support wise, okay, just imagine because it's free, right? So there will be a lot of users going to download the softwares to actually use to create their own websites. So you have a very big group of community users, and because of that, many business depends on it to build websites. So if you need any help, right, basically you don't really need to call someone to seek for help. Okay, you can just Google the error, right? Most of the time you will see how to resolve that particular error within the Google search itself. But if you talk about closed source CMS, right, basically you depend on how reliable and proactive the company is. Okay, that means if Wix decided that, okay, 2 days later then I'll reply you, then you just have to wait 2 days later because this is their error, they need to fix it, they need to come back to you. So for support wise, open source CMS has a bigger base of support compared to a closed source CMS. As for customization wise, right, because the demand is very high, then there's a lot of developers out there. We are talking about more experienced developers. So this developer has to lower their costs in terms of customization. You can even do it on your own, which is why you're here today. If you're going to do it on your own, your cost is much lower if you calculate on a long-term basis as compared to a closed source, which require you to start paying even if you have nothing to build on. So that's why there's a cost here. So generally, the cost to maintain this website, which you can do it on your own, is actually cheaper than the cost to maintain the closed source CMS. But for security wise, I know it's going to be an issue for many of you here, or you'll be thinking that because of WordPress, you heard of people saying that our security is not very strong and things like that. But however, right, WordPress, for example, right, releases a security update, right, almost twice every month, or even sometimes 3 times every month. So these security updates will be able to help you to keep the website security high. Now, for those who say that WordPress has a very low security or it's not very secure, these are people who might not be updating their WordPress frequently. Personally, right, as an agency, right, been through 8 years or 9 years in the industry as an agency, I probably get around 1 case or 2 cases of hacking or malware issue, and these cases are usually because the client did not update their website, and usually are clients who maybe use a very weak password and then they got hacked and things like that. So if you ask me about the security of WordPress, within my experience, it's actually quite high in security. It's actually quite good as a secure website. For closed source, I won't be able to tell you whether it's good or not. I can't tell you Wix is good or Shopify is good. But what I want to say is it all depends on the business itself. It all depends on the business to give you a very consistent update. But for the open source, right, you don't really depend on anyone. You depend on the community. There are so many people using their website for their own business. So everyone will want the websites to be good, will want the software to be good. So you get a very more proactive updates if you compare to the closed source. Now the last part is the portability. Then I guess this one was it Francis? Francis will have more say about this. For portability, right, it's actually quite difficult to move from a closed source to another platform. Okay, the reason why is because there's no one click. If you are a business, you created the CMS and you wouldn't want people to move out. So when you don't want people to move out, you'll try to increase the way of difficulty for people to move out. That's why in the closed source itself, right, they do not have one click to move from one platform to another platform. You can't do that. You can't export the information and move out. But for closed source, right, they are actually be able because it's created by the community, so many people will need it, right? So they will create this kind of thing onto the closed open source itself. That's why moving from one platform, open source platform, to another open source platform is actually easier than you try to move from closed source to open source. So I do have clients who are from Wix, right? They decided to move to WordPress one day. So they asked me, can I move it? How long do I need to move? So the only answer to them is we have to move it manually. Manually means that I need to copy and paste. So copy from the previous site and then paste it back to the new site. So that's the only way technically to move from one platform to another platform if you're using closed source. But if you're using open source, if you want to move from WordPress to Magento or Magento to WordPress, it's only going to be a click away. You just need to register yourself to one of these business. They will to help you to move. Then you click and then they will move it for you. That's about it. It's pretty simple to move around. So coming to the reason, I think was it May who asked me why people want to choose open source more than closed source, and then why is closed source still popular? Now the reason why closed source is still popular is because closed source marketing is very good. So for example, every YouTube video you will see, are you ready for weeks? You need to take a few steps to work, and they market it in a way whereby it is very easy to use. Okay, because there are only one system itself. So many people who are just started with the website without much of the website knowledge, they will just jump in and then start building the website. Yes, it gets the work done. Okay, yes, but sustainability wise, the closed source website might not be as sustainable than as compared to the open source website. Now for open source, because it's free, nobody's going to do marketing. Nobody's going to market like WordPress is the best, you must use WordPress because it's free, right? So everyone can download. So marketing wise for WordPress is not very good. That's why nobody really know, and a lot of people actually quickly jump into a closed source CMS rather than an open source CMS. But I hope to share with you more about open source CMS as we move on. So probably you want to think about it and see whether I'm right or not, because at the end of the day, you can see that open source actually does have more benefits than the closed source CMS itself. So I hope I answered the question earlier.
Yes, thank you.
No problem, May. All right, so allow me to move on to the next one. So this is the number of CMS users. CMS are not just we're talking about CMS only. Okay, we're not talking about other websites like HTML website and things like that. So you can see that WordPress took out around 42.8, which is about half of the market share in the website CMS world. So also in the others part, you have your Wix, your Shopify. All these are actually the closed source. So Joomla have around 5.04 and things like that. So about half of people who are using the website, right, using CMS as their website in their website are using WordPress. So you can imagine, let's say you have about a billion of website out there, about 50%, 40% or 50% are using WordPress. So imagine the number of users using WordPress itself. So that's why we if for those most of our agency, we highly recommend WordPress as one of the CMS that you should use for your websites. Of course, the more people using the website, using the CMS, the easier the CMS will get. So later you will see that with the page builder, everything seems to get so much easier. Okay, now coming to this question about WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So if you realize, right, there's actually another place where it's called WordPress.com. That is why earlier some of you will be asking me that when I register for the free version of WordPress, whether the domain will come out to be free or whether I can change the domain. Now when you said that, right, obviously you are in the WordPress.com version. Now WordPress.com is a closed source version of WordPress. Okay, so WordPress itself they have their closed source, they have their open source. So WordPress.com is actually a closed source version. For WordPress.com, you basically have to pay for a certain fee to do out the websites. Now, people are asking me why you don't use WordPress.com, since only a small sum to pay only. So they have 3 different tier of service. The highest tier is around $30+, okay, per month, $30+ USD per month. Now, this $30+ USD per month is by registering for this package, right? Then you can do whatever the ORG can do, which ORG is actually free. But then again, let me just put it this way. When you work with WordPress, the open source version WordPress, it doesn't mean that you have to go to wordpress.org to register. No. Okay. The reason why they have a wordpress.org is for you to download the software and upload it back to your own server, your web hosts. Okay, to install to your own domain. Okay. So to answer you, the free version of WordPress that do not allow you to change your domain name, you're talking about the closed source. But for WordPress.com or for the WordPress open source version, you can actually use your own domain name and install onto your own server to use. Okay, I just want to show you how WordPress.com looks like. Okay. Now this is WordPress.com. So the 36% over here, right, is the website with all your HTML codes website. Some very old website is 36%. The 40% you see earlier is all for CMS only. So in WordPress.com, if you take a look, right, there are basically plans and under plans and pricing, right? You can see that they actually have different plans. So they have this $5 per month, but this $35. Now only with the $35, you can then power with your own custom plugin and themes, okay, which technically is the same as what you can do using WordPress, the open source version. So if you are okay, but the thing is, because this is a closed source, right? So later when you want to move out from WordPress.com back to the open source version of WordPress, it's the same as moving from closed source to open source. Okay, it's not going to be easy. All right. Before I move on, any questions so far on what is open source and what is closed source?
So if you use .org, how do you get the domain name and the server to host your site?
So basically,
you still need to purchase from somebody else, right?
Correct. So basically for domain, right, later when you see the fee, the cost for domain is around $20 per year, whilst your cost for your hosting is around 15 times $1,280 per year. So it comes out to be only $200 per year. But for this, you get to pay for $35 per month. So after like 4th month, it's already maybe half a year is already more than that.
Okay, so that means, in other words, you do a so-called a la carte mix and match from other providers, and you don't take the package from .com. Is it correct?
Not exactly, because .com is still a closed source version.
I see.
So yeah, so the whatever point I mentioned about closed source still kicks in for .com as well. Okay.
Sorry, so you're saying that this .com is something like which, like what problem I was having the other time, that I cannot move on. It's very difficult to move from this platform to another platform.
Yes, you're right.
So
yes, you're right.
recommending, I mean, for somebody who have actually planned to move to other platform to use the .org.
I will probably yes, I will actually advise you all not to use the .com version or the closed source of WordPress, because it's still going to give you the same issue as what you have on Wix or what we have on Shopify as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, early on, I did try using the WordPress.com, but I think I purchased the domain via that as well. So if we are actually going to the open source WordPress.org, it is still transferable, right? Or
for the domain, yes, Yes, the domain.
It
Yes.
shouldn't be a problem, right?
Shouldn't be a problem for domain transfer. You only need the EPP code, which I'll go through with you later how to do transfer if you want.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right. So anyway, before I go on, right, just want to let y'all know there's a raise hand function in the Zoom itself. So if you during the explanation, if you decided if you have any question, you can just raise your hand. I'll reach out to you once I've finished with that particular section. Okay. So back to the slides itself. Now talking about domain name, so we have three essentials. One is your three essential. One is your domain name, one is your web host, and then your web application framework, right? So the first one we're talking about it right now is called a domain. Now for domain itself, there are actually a few domain registrars. So the person who registers for your domain, who is your business who will help you to register your domain is called domain registrars. Now, there are some businesses over here that probably some of you are quite familiar with, like Namecheap, maybe GoDaddy or Vodin. All these are actually domain name registrars, meaning that they help you to register for a domain name. Personally, I have used all these before, and I probably guess that all of them are quite reasonable or reputable for you to buy the domain from. But in terms of value wise, in the cost itself, right, I recommend you to use Namecheap instead. Okay, as the name suggests, right, it's actually Namecheap, so name is actually cheap. But I won't say it's pretty cheap for the name itself. I will just say it is cheaper than you compare it to all the other domain registrars over here. Okay. As for GoDaddy, right, most of you should have heard of GoDaddy because of their marketing. But for GoDaddy, right, what happened is their domain names price has a very frequent increment, meaning that you buy the domain today maybe for $15, right? Then next month or next year when you want to renew, or 2 years later when you renew, it becomes $20 over. Now it's over $20 over. The difference is only 10 plus, but the thing is, the other places like Namecheap, they are selling at a much lower cost for many years. So for GoDaddy, I will probably think that the price is always inflating, and it's always increasing on the site itself, on the domain name itself. As for Vodin, right, Vodin is actually a Singapore business. Okay, so they basically has got the domain name registrars as well. You can actually register your domain with. But of course, I want to say again, the reason why we choose Namecheap because it's actually cheaper throughout the 6 recommended domain registrars over here. Okay, so what is the cost of the domain that you should take note of? Now before that, you need to understand there are different types of domains. Okay, the first type of domains that you have is a .com domain, domain ending with .com, domain ending with .info, .net, or even .org. These domains are what we call a public domain. Okay, a public domain. Now, a public domain is a domain that is open for anyone to register. There's no need for you to register using your RLC number or even your NRIC number. Okay, so it's a public domain, and the cost of the domain is about $15 to $20 per year. So it depends who you buy it from. Okay, so sometimes $20, as I mentioned, GoDaddy went out the way up to $25, $26 per year, which I think is not very nice of them, to be honest. Then another type of domain is actually domain ending with .gov, .sg, .edu, .gov, .sg kind of thing. These are all the government domain. Now, the government domain cannot be registered online, so you have to go for the government approval for the registration. Usually, if you are into preschools or any schools, right, you can register a .edu with the government. Okay. So there's another type of domain which is ending with .com, .sg, or .org, .sg, or even .my, .au. All these are actually your country domain, or even we call it a controlled domain. Now, the country domain or controlled domain usually will require your RLC number, which is your registration of company, or even your society numbers, or even your NRIC to register for the type of domains. Now, the type of domain usually costs you around $60 to $150 per year. So it's much more expensive. Now, of course, you have the last type. The other type will be ending with design, ending with solution. I'm not sure whether you've seen this before. So some of the domain, especially nowadays, right, you will see that some of the domain, they end with like dot design, dot agency, dot solutions. All these are just are special domains, but they are just like your public domain. So it can be registered for anyone. Most of the time, you don't need any registration number. However, like the cost sometimes will go all the way up to like $5,000, $6,000, okay, per year. So the best thing the cheapest way to start your website is to register for a .com domain. Okay, any questions so far? If not, then I have got one question for you to think about it.
Sorry, can I check?
Yes.
When from your point of view, if you're searching a website with a .com and a .com.sg, is there actually any difference from the point of view? I mean, for the searcher's point of view.
I think you caught me too earlier, because that's the same question I'm going to ask you. Whether .com.sg domain or .com domain or even like a .sg domain, will there be any effect on your search engine rankings? In terms of search engine rankings, will there be any effect? The answer is no. The short answer is no. Meaning that it will not affect you any way if you use a .com domain, or it doesn't mean that a .com.sg domain will rank higher for Singapore business. No. Okay. However, right, there are certain domain that you want to. I personally think that you should avoid. For example, right, you should always avoid using domains that ends with .info, .net, or even .biz. Some of it are .biz. So this domain, the reason why you want to avoid is because this domain has been quite frequently misused. Because .info, .net, or .biz, they are even cheaper. So they, instead of $15, they are even cheaper sometimes. So by using this domains extension, the ending domain, right, you actually lose some trust from your user in a personal aspect. So talking about technical wise, of course, there's no difference, but sometimes user, when they see that it's .info or .net, they probably want to move away from your business website. So I hope that answers your question, Francis.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, the next few slides will teach you how to go through, how to register for a domain. So I will just quickly show you on my screen so that you can see how you can register for domain. So let me just open a new window. So to register for a domain, what you need to do is just head over to their company. So for example, we use Namecheap. We go under namecheap.com. I increase the size so that you can see better on your screen. Okay, so namecheap.com, you probably want to search for your domain name. So sometimes you don't even know what is available, right? So you can just quickly search. So for example, I'm going to search for Teck Seng. Okay, so just search for it and then click on the search button. So you see that Teck Seng, they search for it, and then teckseng.com came out. So teckseng.com right now is available, but you can see that the price right now is 4,850. The price dropped quite a lot. Okay, now why is it 8,004? Sorry, why is it 4,850? It's because this domain is a premium domain. Doesn't mean that it's not just because Teck Seng is a premium name. No, it's because this name, right, has been bought over by a domain broker. So the domain broker actually sell it as a higher price because they foresee that there are a lot of people going to register for this domain. I don't know why, but yeah. So 4,850, if you have it lying around, maybe you can go and buy this domain. But usually for us, right, if we don't have this amount of money, then usually we'll research something with add surname, or maybe add some slash or something like that. So if you see I add a surname, maybe it's lower. So now it becomes $8.88 per year. Now I talk about the price is around $15 per year, right? So go under add to cart. Okay, once you add to cart, you can see that currently, right, the price is around plus the ICANN fee of 18 cents. The price right now is around $9.06. So after your so this 9.06 is it's basically your it's actually USD. So if you convert for 906 to SGD, it's around $13 per year in SGD. So compared to $15, you save over $2 per year. So that is why name cheap is not cheap, but it's just cheaper. Now the idea behind when you want to register for your domain, right, they also ask you to register for a web host together. So what happens is that web host and usually these kind of registrars, right, they actually have you actually can register web hosts and the domain together. Okay, and also personally, I also think that you should do that. So you should register web host and domain together, because when you register web host and domain together, the next thing you need to do is just to start a website ID. But if you want to register it from different company, okay, you have to do the pointing later. You have to point the domain to the correct server later, which is a bit complicated, and you don't really have to go. You don't really have to do that if you are buying it together with your domain name itself. Now for the web host, if you want, you can just click on it and then buy it together with your domain name. So they'll connect it for you. Okay, on the purchase. Okay, now I'm gonna check out this thing. Just buy this one. Okay, I'm gonna check out this thing. When I check out this thing, you can see that there is an option that says auto renew. Now I'll advise you all to switch your domain registration to auto renew. Okay, because if you don't renew your domain, it will sometimes may be lost after the expiry date. Okay, I actually have a client, right, who forgot to renew their domain. So when they forget to renew their domain, what happened is they actually a broker actually bought over their domain. So they actually have to buy back from the broker at 2005 USD. Instead of the usual $15, or even for this, it's only $13 registration fee. They buy a lot more. So it'll be good for you to do auto renew. Then you have this thing called Whoisguard. So basically, when you register for your domain, right, every information you key in will be available online. So if you have a Whoisguard, then they will hide your information online. So you will have more privacy in terms of Whoisguard. Okay, so usually Whoisguard is free, as you can see over here. Okay, so after you finish everything, just click on confirm order. You can buy the hosting together. If not, then you can click on confirm order. Now, when you click on confirm order, the next thing that you need to do is to register for yourself. So you can create an account and then continue with the buying process. Okay, all you need, the next step is to have a credit card, so they can buy the domain. Okay, the step is all presented in the slides itself. I don't think I will go through the steps step by step, because I think it's just a usual buying process. But if you don't know, you can just come and look for me. I have a question for NG. What about positive SSL? It's not necessary to purchase. Yes, NG. So when you buy the that is on the server itself. So when you buy the server, they will ask you for whether you want to buy the SSL. So earlier I mentioned that you want to buy everything together, right? So they will also ask you whether you want to buy SSL here. Yes, then yes, you should buy your SSL also. Okay. But if I'm not wrong, Namecheap has a free SSL. You should go and check it out, their promotion. Check out their promotion. Sometimes they have free SSL for the domain you purchase. Whether or not is it necessary? Is it not necessary? Whether or not is it necessary? Yes, it's necessary to purchase your SSL certs. We shall go through with you more about it on the last day. Okay.
Sorry, I have a question. After buying the domain name, the web hosting, is it the same with WordPress? WordPress is also a web hosting.
No. So remember you have three essentials, right? One is domain name, one is your web host, and one is a web application framework. So your web application framework is WordPress.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What is SSL? SSL is socket server layer. So it's basically encryption to encrypt data from your website. I'll go through more on this about website security on the last day. Okay, Li Feng. Okay, so allow me to move on. So after this, when you register, the next one will be web host. So Francis again, so the three things: domain name, web host, web application framework. So your WordPress is your web application framework. Domain name is you buy from Namecheap, or then the web host is you can buy from this place also. So in the course itself, I just want to let you know that you can buy domain and hosting from different registrar. That means domain you can buy from Namecheap, web host you can buy from SiteGround, you can buy it from different registrars. The thing is, like I mentioned, if you want to buy separately later, you have to do the pointing, which will take a bit of time here and there. So so it will be better for you to buy it together in a way. Now for web host, there are few host provider over here, but I recommend you to use SiteGround because it's easier and it's actually cheapest and better. In terms of cost wise, it's the cheapest. So it's actually better for you to use SiteGround. So again, SiteGround. So again, for hosting, right? There are also different type of hosting as well. So there are 4 types of hosting. Mainly there are 4 types of hosting. The first type of hosting you have is your share hosting. Now share hosting basically is a server that splits the accounts. One server then is split into many accounts, so many people will share the same hosting itself. For share hosting, right, basically it's about $20 per month. Most websites should be able to use share hosting to run. So if you want more space, you pay more within the $20. So sometimes you have like 20, you need to pay like $30 or $35 per month. But it's roughly this, which is good enough for most websites. Or in fact, I think for all your websites should be able to use share hosting. Now, if you have more traffic and you have, if you have more traffic, you should want to consider a cloud hosting. Now, cloud hosting, the only difference is that the only difference between a cloud hosting and share hosting is that the cloud hosting allows you to adjust the resources as and when you like. But for the share hosting, right, you basically can only upgrade. So you upgrade to a better host, you upgrade to a better host. But for cloud hosting, you can say that, for example, right, during February or during March is going to be my peak period, and I know that many people is going to come into my website. So I want to adjust better resources like more RAMs, more data, more bandwidth in the server during this period. You can do so using a cloud hosting itself. Okay, but share hosting is just to upgrade to the next tier, Okay, so cloud hosting is actually good for e-commerce, especially, and usually cloud hosting is around a price of $80 per month. Okay, then I have 2 more hosting, which is the VPS and your dedicated server. Now for VPS and dedicated server, usually I don't recommend you to use it on websites, okay, because having a VPS and dedicated server means you have to manage the server. Imagine you already have to manage your website, then now you still have to manage the server. So it's going to give you a lot of trouble. Usually for VPS and dedicated server is more suitable for other web applications. Like for example, if you're building a system, or if you're building any management system, you can use a VPS or a dedicated server. Excuse me. So for VPS is around $120 per month. As for dedicated server, it's around $200 per month, which I don't recommend you to use because it's also very costly. Okay. Any questions so far before I move on to servers? Okay, if there's no question, let's move on below. Yeah. Now, so another introduction to you is CDN. Before I go into CDN, I just want to also roughly explain to you on server. Now, server is actually a data center. Server is actually stored in data centers. Now, these data centers is available throughout the world. Okay, it's available throughout the world. It's available throughout the world. Now, the thing is, if you want to choose a server that is in Singapore, for example, right, it will be good if you choose it if your audience is all in Singapore. Now, choosing the server and the location of the server will might slightly affect your search engine rankings because of the speed of the server itself. So for example, if you choose like US server because it's cheaper, right? And then most of the audience is in Singapore, right? So your audience will actually take longer time to retrieve your website, right? Compared to those server that is already in Singapore itself. So data will transfer. So what happened is that fundamentally what you should choose is you should always choose a server that is in your own home ground. So for example, if you have an audience all in Singapore, you should choose Singapore server. Vodin is a Singapore server. SiteGround has a Singapore server. So you should choose these kind of servers. But the thing is there are some businesses that have overseas customers as well. So what happened is you might not be able to just choose every server in the world. Okay, so they will make use of this thing called CDN. Now CDN in short is called Content Delivery Network. Okay, basically in short, right, a CDN will have a main server. For example, your main server is in Singapore. Then this main server will then will then pass an offline version into the server all around the world. Okay, so any audience were to access your website, right, they will basically see an offline version first, then they will see the online version, which actually takes a while to load. So when they see the offline version, the website is considered load already. So it will give them a shorter time for it. So a CDN will help you to improve your speed and performance throughout the world. Okay, so most of the server now comes with a free CDN. So you might want to look into this term when you purchase your server. Okay, moving on. Okay, so for server, we recommend you to use SiteGround. So just want to show you how you can do SiteGround. So you go on the SiteGround.com, right? Now SiteGround.com actually has a different server. Now you can also see that at this point of time, you'll be able to see 4 types of server, but it's just different. One is called web host, one is called WordPress hosting, then you have WooCommerce and cloud hosting as well. So what is the difference? Now all these are actually share hosting. Okay, all these are actually share hosting, but this is your cloud hosting, obviously, right? But why they call WordPress and WooCommerce? Because this WordPress and WooCommerce, they give you more tools for WordPress and WooCommerce respectively. If you use a web host compared to WordPress and WooCommerce, right, the web host has less function, less tools for the WordPress website. However, right, all these tools can actually install onto your website later once you as a plugin itself. So it doesn't matter whether you use a WordPress or WooCommerce hosting or just normal web hosting. If the price is the same, then you can just simply choose a WordPress hosting. But if the price is different, then go for the web hosting, go for the share hosting. I mean, it will be, if it's cheaper, so it will be better for you as well. Okay, so in this example, just want to show you how to buy through a web host here. Okay, now in the web host, you can see over here, right? They have different plans for the hosting itself. One thing you just need to take note is, of course, the data space and throughout that's actually different. But another thing that you want to take note is the number of websites that you can create on this server itself. Now, for this server, for example, you only can use one website, or you only can create one website. But for the rest, you can create unlimited websites. So for industry, like for example, property agent, right, you tend to have many websites in one server, right? You will need to choose the GrowBit or the GoGig. Okay, for most of us, right, one website is enough. Then you can just choose a startup. And you can see the free CDN as well. Okay, so the rest is actually the same except for the storage as well as the number of websites. Okay, so in our case, usually we'll just choose the lowest cost, which is for one website only. So click on get plan. Okay, then you can just register as accordingly. So you can see that over here, you can also register your domain. So you can, like I said, you can actually register 2 things together, but the domain here is $15.95. It's more expensive. $15.95 convert to Sing dollars around $17. Okay, so it's actually more expensive than your Namecheap. Okay, so far. Okay, I won't go through the buying process because I think the buying process is quite standard. But what I want to go through is more of after you buy your server, the server will then send you an email. The email will then consist of this thing called name server. Okay, name server details. Now, what exactly is name server detail? This name server details that will be sent to you via the email after you purchase the server, right? Is used for you to point your domain. Okay, so if you buy the domain from for example, you buy a domain from Namecheap and you want to point to SiteGround. Now the provider here, the name server is for you to point. Okay, so what you need to do is recognize this name server, go over to Namecheap, and then change the name server from Namecheap. Okay, there are some steps in the following slides, but the easiest way will be basically recognize this name server, go back to your Namecheap and ask the support to help you change. I think it's so much easier because you don't really have to do much. Just need to recognize the name server. Now the name server usually is in ns1.something.com. So sometimes you have one name server only. Sometimes you have 3 name servers. Sometimes you have 4. Sometimes you have 2 name servers. Okay, so these are the things that you need to take note in order to point your domain. But either way, right, if you want to point your domain or you get a support to point domain or you buy the domain and the hosting together, right, you need to still wait for 24 to 48 hours in order for the domain to be successfully pointed. Okay, so sometimes when you buy your host and the domain together and you decided to start and you realize that you cannot start anything, it is because the domain is not pointed yet. Okay, that's about it for these two sections. For this section, so basically we have discussed about your domain name, your domain name, as well as a server, as well as what is the web application framework, which is basically your WordPress, your website, and things like that. Okay. Any questions so far? If you have any question, just give me a raise hand. I will answer to you, or you can leave it in the chat. Okay, no question. Okay, so if no question, what we're going to do is we're going to go for a 20 minutes break. So the time now is 3:30. So we come back around 3:50. Okay, so come back again. We will go through the next section. All right. Okay, if not, then I'll see you later. Thank you so much. Hello, we are starting soon. So when you're back, just let me know you're back by giving me a thumbs up so that I know you're back. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, all of you are back. Thank you, Li Fong. Someone raised hand, right? So someone raised hand. Oh, yes. Okay, let's get started. So before I get started, just want to quickly go through review what we have gone through earlier. So as to answer to some of your questions also. Now, earlier we went through the slides. We went through the three different things that you will need to start your website. So basically, not different thing, but essential thing that you need to start your website. So basically, your three essential things is your domain name, your web host, and your web application framework. Now there are different type of web application framework. This web application framework, the one of the type is actually our CMS, which is our content management system. Now, content management system is basically a system that allows you to create your website or customize or even manage your website content using the system itself. Now, the content management system we are using is actually called a WordPress. You see, the WordPress is actually one type of content management system. But of course, content management system, there are two types of content management system or CMS. The one type is called open source, the other type is called the closed source CMS. Now, the open source CMS, WordPress itself is an open source CMS, and Wix and Shopify, all these are actually closed source CMS. Now, as I explained to you, some of you might not be clear on this part, is that the open source CMS is basically CMS that can be downloaded for free, used for free, and this will then create a very large user base, and basically with the user base you can actually have more support, lower cost, and higher security. Moving around from one open source to another WordPress open source is actually easier than you move from one closed source to another closed source. Okay. Now this is the difference between open source and closed source. So again, there are two types. Just to take note, open source WordPress.org and closed source for WordPress is WordPress.com. Now for closed source WordPress.com, you need to register WordPress using in WordPress.com itself. So what happened is that this WordPress.com is actually a closed source version, and it's also very difficult for you to move out if you want to later in the part. Later, when you move to the open source, it will be harder for you. For WordPress.org, which is the open source version, right? You don't really have to use the login to a website to register. What you need to do is you need to have your domain name, your web host, and your download this WordPress.org. Okay, so this is about it. So for Namecheap itself is one of the registrar that you can use to download your you can use to purchase your domain, and then for the SiteGround it's one of the site provider that you can use to purchase your web host. So two things separately: domain name, web host. Now I've got some question in my chat here. One question is there a hosting plan that is more secure if we have members database in our website? Now, most of the SiteGround itself is already quite secure, so no issue with it. But like I mentioned earlier, you probably want to you also need to register for SSL cert to even to encrypt the server further. Okay. Then I have another question. Sorry, I have a question. When buying a domain name from Namecheap, if I buy a web host service here, that means if you together with Namecheap, then I don't need to go to the SiteGround, right? Yes, correct. So if you buy a web host from if you buy a web host and the domain name together, right? Then you don't need to buy from SiteGround anymore. Okay, I hope that answers all your questions. Any other question you want, you can just raise your hand. I'll go to you and as as much as I can. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Sorry, let me just reduce my space. Okay, good. Let's move on to our what we want. So right now, I just need you all to help me to log into this website. Okay, I need you all to help me to log into this website. And when prompt for password, enter your password for today, which is okay. So enter this URL. They'll ask you for a password. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to copy this link in the chat so that it's easier for you all. Okay. The password for the day is WP 398 star. Sorry, star demo 398 star. Okay, once you enter your password, this is what you see. Okay, so I will leave this in your chat. Star demo 398 star. Okay. Now, when you enter the when you enter the URL, this is what you see. So what you need to do is with the URL, right? You will just need to copy this URL. Like for example, if you are number 1, later I will allocate a number to you. So if you're number 1, you just copy this URL onto your address bar and then enter the username and password. Okay. So I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to call off your name. If you didn't hear your name, maybe if you hear your name, you can give me a thumbs up there. I know that you heard your name. Okay, so we'll start from Andrew. Andrew will be using number 1. Okay, thank you. NG Liao number 2. Okay, Cindy number 3. Cindy, okay. Gavin number 4. Thank you. Francis number 5. Okay, thank you. Jessie number 6. Jessie, thank you. Jenny Chan number 7. Jenny number 7. Okay, Jenny, are you around? Okay, thank you. Lula number 8. Thank you. Jensen number 9. Thank you. May number 10. May Lim number 11. Then NS number 11. Sorry, number 12. NS is 12. Okay. Tiffany, you're number 13. Okay, so what I need you to do is just log into this URL with your username and password. Okay. Okay, once you log in your username and password, this is what you should see. Okay, there's no need to take note of this username and password because this is the one and only time you need to access. Sorry, what is the username and password? Francis, you need to log into the link on top here, equinetacademy.com/demo sites. Over here, Francis. the URL here. Then they ask you for a password. You key in your password already. You can see that this is the this is your details, right? You can see this detail. Then for Francis, I think you are number, let me check. 5. You're number 5. So you just take number 5. Username is this, and your password is this.
Sorry. Can you repeat again? I can't capture this one.
Okay. Are you at the URL? Are you at this URL already?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're number 5, right?
Yes.
So you just key in this URL. Then enter your
Okay.
username and password.
Oh, username. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Okay. The password is star. The password will have a asterisk in front. So asterisk demo 398 asterisk. Andrew, I saw your question. I answered your question in a while, can? After this. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Francis, okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, once you have entered, I just want to let you all know what you are seeing on the screen right now is called cPanel. Now, for cPanel itself, it's actually a control panel for your websites. Okay, like I mentioned, you probably only need to go through cPanel once, and most of the time you don't really touch it anymore. The control panel for your server basically allows you to do a few things only. One is to set your domain. The other one is to set your to install your WordPress. Then subsequently to create your email. Okay. Deep Fong, are you okay? You say you can't get in, is it? You know, oh sorry, Deep Fong, I think I forgot to give you your number, right? Because you didn't. Deep Fong, can I give you number 15? Can you use number 15?
You mean I key in demo star demo 398 and then 15?
No, can you take a look at the site? You'll be able to see this website, right? Have you entered to this website already?
Yes, I've entered.
Okay, so you take number 15. So you go into this website, demo website 15.club/.
Oh, this one, I go to this one.
Yeah, and then you use this username and password.
Just hold on. Demo web 9 password. So I go to the panel first, is it?
Yep.
How should I go in? I should cancel your.
No, you just log into this URL. Your current you just need to log into demo website 15.club/cpanel.
I can't do it.
Are you?
I just go in here, this website, I just highlight the demo website, Club 15.
I
copy this?
Yes, copy this onto your URL. You copy this onto your URL, then they'll ask you for username and password.
I'm still struggling, I'm sorry. Let me see again. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I copy the I copy the.
I go to the www.equinet, that one, demo site, then.
Okay, go to this demo website.
Okay.
Can you see number 15?
Okay, I'm in demo website. Okay.
Can you see demo website 15?
No, it's not 15, it's the general one. Demo websites. There's no 15. I mean, I key in 15 at the back.
No. You are at this demo website, right? Then you will see a list of demo websites.
No, I don't. I see password enter.
Okay, then you enter star demo 398 star.
Star demo
398 star.
Demo 398 star.
Yeah.
Okay. Enter. Okay, yeah, I saw.
Okay, can you see 15?
So I go to number 15, is it?
Yeah. Click on it.
Okay. Demo web 9.
Yeah, your username is demo web 9, then your password is star demo 398 star.
Demo web 9. Then it's a star.
Demo 398 star.
Demo 398 star. Yes, thank you. Thank you
No
very
problem.
much. Thank you very much.
Sure. All right, so since all of you are in, so what you need to do is just take a look at my screen first. Let me explain to you what is cPanel first. Now for cPanel, right? Basically, again, cPanel is just a server, a panel, a control panel for you to control your server. So basically, you don't need to log in over to cPanel to change your website content, or don't need to log in to change anything on the website. Most of the time, you just need to log in and you change your username and password. That's about it. Sorry, you change your username and password if you want, or for your email account, or you can install WordPress on the server, and that's about it. So you don't really come in here too often. Okay. If you want to edit your website content, then you go to the website admins panel, which I'll go through with you later. So this is just a control panel. Now, if you are using SiteGround, right? If you are a new client, a new customer of SiteGround, right? SiteGround currently they don't have any, they don't use cPanel, so they use their own customer accounts. Okay, so for SiteGround, if you are using SiteGround, you will see their own customer account, right? Now the customer account will then be the same as the one in the slides itself. This is how the customer account looks like. But in this course, I will still go through the cPanel mainly because cPanel is still widely used for most of the server out there, except only a few out there that are using their own panel. Okay, so if you need a step-by-step for SiteGround to install WordPress, you can just refer back to your slides, which will explain to you what is a side-by-side, what is the step-by-step to install your WordPress. Andrew, is that okay for you? Andrew, okay, thank you. So if not, right, back to cPanel, right? Now this cPanel will tell you on the left-hand side, it will tell you all the information on your website. So if your website is down, or if there's any issue with website, right, you probably want to come over to the cPanel and check whether you have a disk usage full or not. Okay, so sometimes if you have your disk usage too full, right, then you will get a website down, the downtime for a website. Other than that, then you can also check this thing called running processes. If your website is if your running processor is 10:10, right, means your website is going to be down soon. Okay, so you just have to wait for it to cool down, to cool down first, then you can continue to use your website. But if this problem occurs too many times, right, then you probably have some malwares on your website. Then you will need to look for your service provider to help you with the malwares, check whether your website has malwares. Okay. Next, on the right hand side is all the links to the different things that you can do on cPanel. The first thing over here is what we call a domain. It's under domains. So under domains, right, you will be able to have this few types of domain. Okay, Gavin, just give me a minute. Let me come back to you. So there are a few types of domain. One is your subdomain, one is your add-on domain, your pub domain, and your redirect. So these are a few things that you will need to know more first in order to use the website, in order to know how to use the domain name. Now for subdomain, right? Okay, so basically when you buy a domain, you usually will buy a main domain. So for example, you buy cafe.com. Okay, so if you want to create a website using cafe.com, okay, you can actually create a website here using cafe.com. And subsequently, when you want to create more websites, so for example, I want to say I have different cafes. I have cafe A, cafe B, cafe C, cafe D.com, right? So I don't want to purchase too many domains. What I can do is I can just put a subdomain. So I can create like a.cafe.com. then they have their own website. Then I can have like b.cafe.com. Then I have their own website. So all these, right, the A, B, right, this is actually a subdomain. Sorry, I don't know whether you can see my, all these, right, A and B, right, this is actually your subdomains. Okay, when it comes to subdomain, right, basically you only need one main domain to create subdomains. So every subdomain can have its own website to it. Okay, so far for subdomain. If not, right, the other thing that you can see over here is actually your add-on domain. Now, for add-on domain, it means that earlier we mentioned that certain server can only give you one website, right, to each server. But certain server will give you multiple websites. So using add-on domain, you can actually create more domains into the server. That means you can have like cafe.com or cafe.a.com, cafe.b.com. All this can be into one server. So in one server, if you want to create multiple websites, you need to use your add-on domains. Okay. But in this case, you have to buy domains every time. So you have one domain, two domain, three domain, then you put into one server and then have different websites, you have add-on domains. Okay, so this is done on domain. Okay, the next one is actually a park domain. Now for park domain, what happened is you can actually link two domains together. So for example, cafe.com and one day you open up another thing called restaurant.com, right? And you want to link these two together as one website. So whenever people goes to restaurant.com or they goes to cafe.com, they will see the same website, right? This is what we call a park domain. That is, the first URL equals to the other URL. You can see from the icon. Okay, this is good if you have if you want to redirect certain domains to the main website. Okay, then another one is called redirect. So the difference between a park domain and redirect is the park domain, when you send an email to two different domain, right? Okay, both domain will receive your email. But for redirect, if this is the main domain and you try to send another domain to the secondary domain using redirect, right? The email will not go through. Okay, so there's a difference between a park domain and a redirect. Okay, now the most important thing you want to know is these two only, subdomain and add-on domain. Subdomain is the one that in front, and domain is a few different domains into one server to create different websites. Okay, so this is the different domains that you can use on your server itself. Okay, and just gonna change this. Okay, clear this. Now the next thing you see in the selection is you can see this thing called software killers. Now this is the app that this is the link that you will be using to install your WordPress. Whatever you see behind, right? Whatever you see behind all this is actually a shortcut. Whatever you see behind, right? It's actually a shortcut link to what is inside software killers. Okay, so it's just a shortcut link is what inside software killers. Okay. Now the next one, the next few you can see under site improvement, under WordPress, under Joomla tools. These are actually just tools that is provided by SiteGround. Okay, so because these are not the standard tools, right, I will not go through this part. So, but I will let you all to you explore it if you are using their server. But if you don't use their server, you won't see this part in your cPanel. The next one is your email. This is where you create your email. You can create an email like Teck Seng at cafe.com or Teck Seng at, in this case, demo website 222.club. Okay, you can do that using this email section. Then you have file directory. This is where your files are kept, all your files, including your WordPress file. However, right, you don't need to come over to this file directory to actually insert your file, because most of the time you can just insert your file in your WordPress backend directly. Okay, so that's why I say they only need to access one time only most of the time. Okay, then the next one is your database, which I think you only come here if you want to reset your password. So the next few days when you forget about your password, I will be here to reset it for you using this database. Okay, if not, right, the rest is actually something that you don't really need. For backup manager, you'll see over here, right, this is actually exclusive to SiteGround also, so we are not going to use this. Okay, so all in all, these are the things that you probably will be touching. The domains, the software killers, the email, the file directory, and the database if you need to reset your password. Okay. Now, what I need you to do is to let's try to create an email account. So you can actually create an email account by clicking on email accounts, of course. So can I just get you all to go back to your screen, click on email accounts. Okay, so when you click on email account, you can actually see over here, you can actually install key in your email name. So for example, you can have like a sales, or you want to have your own email, you can actually key in your email over here. And then enter your password. If you click on create account, your password, your email will be over here. Okay. Now this email, if you want to access your email, right, later part when you access your email, right, what you need to do is you just key in your domain name. Just key in your domain name and then /webmail. Yeah. So the next time when you access your email, don't have to go back to cPanel. Just key in your domain name and /webmail. You can enter your username and password. You can access your email directly from there. Okay. For some of you who decided that you want to use your phone, or you want to use your Apple Mail, or even the Outlook, right? You can actually get the information by clicking on the More button and then click on Configure Email Client. Once you click on that, they'll give you all the information that you need over here. Okay. The best way to set up your email, right, basically is to get the hosting support to help you, because they are faster, so you don't need to go and find all this. Okay. Okay, are you okay? If not, if you're okay, then what you can, I also want to recommend to you one more thing. You can either use email on your own web server. That means you don't pay for extra, you use email on your own web server. Or you can also you can also choose to use email using the Google features, using G Suite. Now, G Suite is basically Gmail's, but using your own domain. So they are using Gmail, but using your own domain. So basically, if you want to log into, if you have G Suite, right, you probably just need to log into Gmail to access the email, but it's still your own domain. The good point about using G Suite is that the G Suite delivery rate is higher. So if you always have the bounce email issue, right, you probably want to switch over to G Suite. Okay. Now the G Suite have another thing to pay for, which is $6 per user per month. Okay, but you can make use of their own G Drive and everything, G Slides. Okay, that's something that you want to consider if you think that you always have delivery issue, you send certain email out, then a lot of people, your email always get bounced and everything, then you can try to use G Suite. Okay, then don't use on the server. But if you just begin using your website and creating your website, and you just need something very simple, this email is actually good enough for you. All right. What is G Suite? As I explained, G Suite is basically for you to use your Gmail, for you to use your email on a for you to use your email on a Google platform. Okay. Okay. So once we are back, once we are done with this, let's go back by clicking on the home button on the top left-hand corner. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is to install your WordPress. Okay. So to install your WordPress on cPanel, what you need to do is just to click on Software Killers over here. Okay, click on Softaculous. Okay, now because this server has been used by the previous batch of students trainees as well, so I will need you to help me to remove their copies of websites. So to remove their copy of website, what you need to do is go under installation, click on installation, and see installation, right? Okay, once you click on installation, there's a red color cross. Click on red color cross. Right? And then scroll all the way down, you can see a button that says remove installations. Click on remove installations. Okay, so they ask you whether to confirm, just click OK. Do we need to create an email address? Don't need. No, not for this course. Don't need. Can't follow. Can you repeat? Francis, which part you are lost? Creating WP. Have you deleted the WP already?
Sorry, I'm back at the home page here. So you want me to click on the WordPress?
Okay, back at the home page, click on Softaculous.
Softaculous, okay.
Okay,
installation.
Yeah, okay, installation.
Okay. So
okay.
remove the one.
Correct, you're right.
Okay. After removing?
You're done with the remove. Then they ask you for, scroll down, you ask you for remove installation.
Okay.
Then confirm, and then you will be out. Then, so for the rest, right, can you see a text that say overview? Click on overview, return to overview.
Return to overview, okay.
Yep. Okay, click on return to overview. Then you will see the WordPress installation, right?
Yes.
Currently. Okay. Just
then
get this.
Install now.
Okay, we'll hold on for a while. So what you need to do is the bar don't need to reach 100% and click over it. You need to wait for the whole installation uninstall to complete, then you can click on overview. Yeah, so make sure everyone completed the uninstall already, then click on overview. So this is the page that you will see. Okay, don't worry, I will slow down. So for those who already see this screen already, can you just give me a thumbs up?
So the email address, if I haven't created, is it okay?
Don't need to create email for this course.
Okay.
But you need to know where, like in case in future you want to create your own email, you know where. Okay, I still got a few more how to go. Overview. Li Fong, can you see that after you uninstall, there's a text that says return to overview? Okay, thank you, May. Okay. Li Fong, are you okay?
No, okay. I went back to the main page, the home again.
Went back to home. Then can you click on Softaculous? Softaculous, this one.
Okay, yes.
Okay, click
So
on it.
top scripts, is it?
Sorry?
There I have a few selection, WordPress, Avante card.
Okay, can you see there's the top, there's this card feature. There's a card. There's a card on the top. Can you see?
On the card.
Sorry, I mean there's a crate on the top. Can you see? Top right hand corner. There's an image.
The right hand corner, help.
Correct. Help.
Help,
Then
is it?
There's a crate, right?
Acceptaculous, I can see a few demo, a lot of things there, toolbox and all that. And then this one is welcome to demo web 9.
Are you at the software? You are software killers, right? Okay, good.
Yes.
So on welcome to demo web 9 on top, can you see a crate icon?
Yes, which icon?
A crate, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth.
Oh, all installation, is it?
Ah, correct.
Click on that.
Okay, click on the all installation. Just to check whether you got
Yes, that's right, I saw.
Can you see any installation there?
There's a link admin installation time version option.
Yeah, Karen, can you see any installation there?
No, I do not have any installation.
Okay, then good. Okay. Now, so what you need to do is on the right hand side, there's this search bar, search for WordPress.
WordPress.
Yes. Search for WordPress. Okay, then you will see the screen as like mine right now. Okay, for the Li-Fong, okay, I go on.
Yes.
Okay, so for the rest, what you need to do is just click on install. Just click on the install.
Install now.
Yeah, click on install first. Okay,
okay.
So
the blue button.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so you just follow through us on the class. Okay, so now what you need to do is the first few options you don't have to change, can leave it as default. For the site name, right? Site name will usually key in our company name. So in this example, we'll just use All Star Training Room as our company name. As for the site description, we'll use we'll use Training Room Rental in Singapore. So just take a look at my screen and then you can type in the same information. If you have your own company name and then you want to use, can go ahead and use.
Can you repeat again? Under site name, what should we do?
You can take a look at my screen. You can put All Star Training
Very
Room.
small. Very small.
My screen, very small.
Very small.
Can.
Okay. All Star Training Rooms.
Okay, the rest are okay, right? If I'm okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's scroll down. For the admin's username, right? Let's key in the same username so that we won't so that we know what to do later. So key in username, we'll just key in All Star. So ALRSTAR. Sorry, ALSTAR, All Star. Okay. Now for admin password, we also standardize so that we won't forget later. So we just put demo 398 star. That means asterisk demo 398 asterisk. Okay. Okay, so for the admin's email, right, you can place it in your own email. If not, you can just leave it as their own email. Now, it's important that you choose your own email here because for your own website, it's because next time when you lost your password, you can use this email to reset your password. Okay, if not, right, once you got this installed, you just need to scroll all the way down. There's an install button. Click on the install button.
Hold on, the admin email should we put?
Your own email.
My own email.
Yes. Okay. You gotta install. So once you scroll down your install button, just click on the install button. then the WordPress will be installed on the server. Oh, I left the admin email as it is. Doesn't matter. Mailing is okay. It's okay. Later we can change also if you want. Okay, let's wait for a while for all of you to get it installed. So once you install already, just give me a thumbs up so I know that we can move on.
Sorry, Teck Seng, I think you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry.
Or at least
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
hear you.
Got it. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so everyone installed already, right? Everyone? Okay, yeah. Now on the screen itself, on your screen itself, after your installation, you will see this administrative URL. Okay. Now I just need you all to basically take note of this administrative URL. Maybe put it in your notebook or your paper and pen, as well as below the administrative URL when you write down already, right? Below, just write down your username, which was all star, the one that you fill up, as well as your passwords, which is star demo 398 star. So write down in your notebook so that you won't forget later. Write down the administrative URL, username, and passwords onto your notebook so you won't forget, because you're going to use this backend for the next 5 days. Okay, now everyone has taken down their details already. The next step, let's click on the administrative URL. Let's click on it. It will then bring you back to the backend. And once you click on it, you can just take a look at my screen. I'll go through a bit, orientate you in a bit.
May I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Propagating a database already 100%, what should I do?
You wait for a while, it will bring you to the administrative URL, right?
Oh, okay, hasn't.
Mm.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll wait for you, Li Fong. Once you are ready, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
For the rest, right, when you click on administrative URL, you will see a welcome to WordPress site. And it says starts now, right? But just below the starts now, you will see a, what is that called? I think skip, exit. So what you can do is just click on exit. Okay. Click on exit. Then it will bring you to the back end of WordPress.
Teck Seng, sorry, can you just repeat?
Which part do you want me to repeat?
I really came to a portion that says user or email address, password,
Mm.
and then there's login, but the other instructions like not on the screen. Like.
User and email address you write down already, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Have you installed already?
I clicked the link, that you asked us to copy down, right? I already installed.
Okay, so
You told us to copy down that link somewhere. Remember our
correct.
Yeah, I did all that, and then I'm now in this WordPress
starter, right? WordPress starter, right?
I don't know what I call it, but it's just a word,
Okay,
logo W.
So can you see a button below? Starts now, then another text below is exit.
Oh, let me start over again then. That means I copy that link and then paste it and then.
Yeah, correct. Then you just let me know what you see.
Okay, thanks.
Tiffany, what URL do I put? Tiffany, have you installed the WordPress? And the error that you show me at Tiffany, it means that your WordPress already been installed already. But you just need to be clear, is it the previous batch one or have you deleted the previous installation? Tiffany.
Teck Seng, my laptop's got some problem. The screen just closed by itself, and now I'm back at this installation. So the admin username is L-star, and the password is star demo 385.
Star demo 398.
398.
Yep.
398. So, and then the admin. What's the next one I need to listen? Or site name I need to change, right?
Yes. So site name you can change to All Star Training Room.
All Star Training Room, okay. And the other one
then
is
your
Training Room
site
Center in
description.
Singapore.
Yes, correct. Then just
Okay,
install.
and then I install.
Okay.
Sorry,
No problem. Okay, so for those for Tiffany, right? Tiffany, you okay, so for Tiffany, right, what you need to do is on the top right hand corner there's a create icon, right? There's a create icon. The create icon, when you mouse over it, right, you should see it says all installations. Okay, click on the create icon that says all installations, and you will see the installation over here. Click on the cross, then you'll delete already. Tiffany, if you heard me, just let me know.
After install already, what's the next step?
Okay, Francis, hold on for a while. Once you are installed already, click on the, can you see administrative URL? Administrative URL.
No, I can't.
What do you see?
I'm still at this install page.
Have you clicked on install?
Yeah, I clicked already. Then it says the following error was found. And installation already exists. To reinstall the application, please uninstall.
Okay, that means you installed already. Now, can you help me to go up? There's a create icon. Click on the create icon, will bring you to the all installation page.
All installation, okay.
Yes. Then can you see the installation? What time was the installation?
4:30.
4:30. So this is the new version here. So you can just click on the guy on the left hand side, the man on the left hand side.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay. And then next.
Then you'll go to WordPress backend already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you hold on for a while.
Okay.
Okay, so for Li Fong, are you okay? Still propagating? Li Fong, are you okay? Another person, Jenny, are you okay? Yes, Jenny, you're right, Eddie. Jenny, you're correct, Eddie.
Thank you.
Gavin, so what you have installed is WordPress open source? Yes, Gavin, you're right. Lifong, are you okay? Tiffany, are you done? Tiffany, it says installed. Can you see administrative URL? Yes. Okay, then click on the administrative URL. Okay, so I won't be able to go back to the same page, but if you look at your screen right now, you should see a orange color button on the bottom part. Then under the orange color button, you will see an exit. Most of you, right? Click on the exit. For all of you, right? If you see a orange color button on the bottom of the page, then under the orange color button, you will see exit. Click on the exit. Okay. Now you should see your dashboard now, which is what you see on my screen as well. Just want to be very sure everyone gets it. Can you just give me a thumbs up when you get to see them? Thank you, Melin. Thank you, Francis. Wow. Thank you, everyone. So I only have, okay. I only have Tiffany and Li Fong. I didn't see your thumbs up. Are you okay? Hello. Sorry, please. No problem, Tiffany. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Cindy here. Can I just check with you? My demo, the website is actually blank. So is it because I need to use Chrome or?
Demo website is actually blank means what?
It's blank page. I cannot see the dashboard or anything.
Okay, but you have it installed already, is it?
Yeah, everything has been done.
Can I just get you to refresh your page?
Okay, I try.
Okay, we wait for a while. Sorry about that. Just give us a moment. Li Fong, are you okay? Because I don't see your. I don't see. Tiffany, what else do you see except needs attention? What else do you see? The page is almost the same as yours. Okay. Okay, Tiffany, you are correct. Just hold on over there. Yifong, have you refreshed your page? Yifong, have you refreshed your page? Yeah. So before I didn't get what this okay. Sorry, to answer to NG's NS questions, you were saying tutorial video, right? The tutorial video is in your learning portal, but this whole session is recorded as well. So the recording will be released to you tomorrow. Okay, so allow me to move on the WordPress itself. So just take a look at my screen. It should be the same as your screen, but let me just orientate you in the WordPress itself. Now on the top right, you will see a black bar after you log in. Okay, it indicates that you are logged in after you see a black bar here. Right on the black bar on the left-hand side, right, you can see that it's actually this All-Star Training Rooms. Okay, if you click on the All-Star Training Room name, it will then bring you to the front end. So basically front end, right, is actually what the user, your own user see, your customer sees. Okay, this is called front end. Now, if you click on the training room name again, it will bring you back to the back ends. Now the back end is only available for admins only. So what the admin see. So this term front end and back end will be used frequently in the course. So whenever I say bring back to back end, I'll go back to back end. What you need to do is to click on the training, room. Then you will bring you back to the back end. Okay. If not, then on the back end itself, on the left hand side, right, you will see all the navigation bar. The navigation bar, right, most of it should be able to just mouse over it, and there will be a pop-up coming out. So there will be items as well. So in the course itself, I will say mouse over to certain thing, mouse over to certain thing, click on certain thing. So mouse over and click on, just be very careful with the term. So when I say mouse over, literally put your mouse on top of the thing. Then click means click. Now on the top right hand corner, right, where you see the black bar again, you will see a lockout. That's where you lock out from the page, but don't do that now. Okay, so let's try to orientate yourself in your WordPress. Okay, let's go back to your screen. Listen to my instruction. Now back to your screen, we will see settings on the left hand side, navigation, right? Mouse over to settings, click on general. Mouse over to settings, click on general. Okay. Now, if you scroll down, there's a time zone. There's an option that says time zone. Time zone. Okay. In the time zone, click on the drop down and you can just type in Singapore. Then Singapore will be selected. Okay. Once you are done, scroll down, click on Save Changes. This is the first thing you do. If you get it, just give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Jensen, are you okay? Thank you, Francis. Okay, thank you, Jensen. All right, good. Now, I just want to explain to you on the time zone itself. For the time zone, right? For the time zone, right, when you set to Singapore, right? The reason why you want to do so is, sorry, I have a question here. Jenny says she's not able to see Singapore as time zone. So Jenny, when you select the time zone, right, you just need to type in Singapore. Use your keyboard, type in Singapore. They will show you time zone Singapore already. Now the purpose of you setting the time zone is because WordPress allow you to schedule posts as well as to schedule later on when you install the e-commerce allows you to schedule your coupon code. Okay, if you do not set a time zone properly, okay, your schedule will be -8 hours before time. So this is something that you need to take note. Okay. Before I go on, Jenny, are you okay already? Or still can't see?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, great. Okay,
Thanks.
now, very good. So now let's move on again. Under settings, can you see a option that says permalinks? Permalinks. The second last option. Click on permalinks. Again, click on permalinks. Okay. Once you have the permalink, there's this options that says post name, right? Make sure you have selected post name as the common settings. Okay. Once you select, let me just explain to you what is this for. Maybe you want to just toggle to my screen if you haven't done so. Now, the reason why you want to set a permalink as post name is because the post names is actually your title of the page that you're going to create, or even your post that you're going to create. So by setting your permalink as post name, now your URL will now appear as your URL will now appear as your domain name / your post name. Now this will allow you to have a easier to recognize URL to share with your user. But the most important thing is that search engine will then recognize this URL and understand the content of the URL before even accessing your page to understand the content. So this is actually one step that you need to take, right? One fundamental step that you need to do in order to improve your ranking on search engine. Okay. All right. Now, so once you have set to post name, just scroll under the option and click on Save Changes. Okay, click on Save Changes. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is, once you click on Save Changes already, you can take a look at the navigation on the left hand side. There is a part whereby it has a few things: the posts, the media, the pages, and the comments. Now, all these are actually a different type of post types that WordPress can use. Okay, so basically, for all these, right, what you can do is whatever you put inside here will then be visible on the front end itself. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so whatever you put inside this will be visible on front end itself. The most common one that we use, right, is actually the posts as well as the pages. Okay, so what is the difference between the posts and the pages? So I'm just going to quickly just start up a video, okay, for you to watch. This video will explain to you the difference between posts and pages. Subsequently, after that, I'll also give you my explanation in my term. So just take a while to view the video, and okay, take a while to view the video. Okay. How do I share? Okay.
A common question for those new to WordPress is, what is the difference between a post and a page? First, let's look at the similarities. Both are located in the sidebar of the admin area and share some of the same items on the edit page, such as the visual and text editor, the publishing box, featured images, and a few other screen options. This is where much of the similarity stops, though. Posts, when created, appear on your blog in reverse chronological order and become archived as they get older. They also make use of your RSS feed, tags, and categories. This makes posts easy to organize and keep track of, as you will most likely be creating many of them. By default, posts allow people to comment on them, while pages do not, though this can be changed in the post or pages discussion box. Pages usually act as a static page of your site, such as an about page or contact page. This means that unlike your posts, your pages will always be relevant. Pages also do not use tags or categories. Instead, they can be organized hierarchically using parent pages. A parent page acts as a main page that other pages can branch off of, like a subpage. For example, if you have a catering service page with a subpage just for cakes. Having these subpages is important to your site's structure and also has an effect on your search engine optimization, or SEO. You can have as many subpages as you wish. Viewing a post on its own page is different from viewing an actual page. This, for the most part, has to do with site structure and how it is seen in search engines. Of course, posts and pages can work together, like on a home or blog page, which features your posts.
Okay, so as you can see on the video actually explains to you what is posts and what is page. So these are the two type of the common post type that WordPress have. And so I'm just going to take an example here and to compare with you what is the two differences. So if you go to any other website, so I just bring you to the my agency websites. So if you take a look at this website, right, you can see that the first thing you see here is the home. Okay, so the home will consist of, for example, some content over here, some of the work that we have done, and some of the service that we have, you know, some of the testimony and so on and so forth. This is home, and then we have another one which is maybe the service. So under service, under web design, for example, you can see all the content here and all the explanation of web design. Okay, so if you go under insights, you will see different posts, different articles that we have here, all these different articles. Okay, within the articles, if you click on the articles itself, then it will bring you to the content of the article. Now, think about the difference between pages and posts. So pages is something that you do not need to update frequently. Okay, pages something that you don't update frequently. For example, your home is your page. So home page, something that you do not need to update frequently. You create it, but once you create it, you will just leave it as it is. Whereas for posts is something that is related, is always related. So you can write a lot of posts, or in our term, you write a lot of blog entry. Posts can be used as promotions. Posts can be used as events. All these are actually posts. So basically, posts, right, will be categorized under categories. So for example, in this category, you can see that we only select the web design categories. So you can see all the posts under web design. Okay, but for pages, right, you don't categorize it in a category form. So for pages, it's always standalone, but sometimes you will have a parent page. Like for example, you can go like home page, then service page. For out of the service page, you have different services page. So pages, again, is something that you don't update frequently, but for posts, it's always relevant. It's always something that you will update and you will use. Okay, so that's it. That's it about posts and pages. Okay, Mei Lin, your question. May you have can we have posts within a page? Yes, so in certain pages, right, in certain page, for example, the insights that you see on this page, right, it is basically posts and page combined. Okay, so all my posts are being combined, are being created, generated onto my page. So this is where posts appear on pages. Okay, so get this clear. What is posts? What is pages? Okay. So the next time around, when you want to create a blog article or you want to create an event or promotions, all these are all under posts. Okay, one example is another client of mine. Okay, so she for this client, they usually have different promotions. So they will create promotion page. They will create a promotion post to show what kind of promotion they have, and then from there, it will be their content itself. So all these are their pages. So if you go under promotions, okay, you go under promotion, all these are actually posts. Okay, all these are actually posts. All right, so what you see on the post, right, the first thing that you see, this is what we call a featured image, the featured image. Okay, let's create the first post and try out. Okay, what is posts? Okay, now heading back to your back end. So how this will work is, I understand that most of you do not have dual screen. So what you can do is look at my screen first. Okay, look at how I do. Then once you know how I do it, go back to your screen. I'll repeat the steps to you again. Okay. All right. To create a new post, what you need to do is mouse over to posts and click on add new. Mouse over to post, click on add new. And then they will have the first thing, which is add title. Okay, so title is basically your subject of the particular posts. So for example, right, we want to create a post, we want to create an article that says 5 reasons why you use a training room. This is your content. Okay, this is your content. This is your content. This is your post title. So this is how you insert your post title. Okay, so now let's give it a try, and you'll try to create your first post. Okay, can you go back to your screen? I'll repeat my steps again. Okay, now to create a new post, I need you to mouse over to post. Click on add new. Mouse over to post. Click on add new. The first thing you see when you click on add new is your title. So maybe you just enter any title in, any content. Okay, so for example, you want to write an article of 5 reasons why you use a training room, then you'll just put in 5 reasons why you need a training room. Now the subject, the title that you do here will also affect your URL, as we have set earlier, right? That your URL has a post name. So this is the post name that we're talking about. Okay, now once you're done, just come back to my screen. I want to show you a few things. Okay, now there are a few things that you include in your post. One is content, of course. Number 2, you have your images as well. And number 3, you have your videos. So I'm just going to teach you how to do one by one. Then you can go back and try on your screen later. Now, in order to create a content in your posts, what you need to do is to click on the plus sign on the right-hand corner here. Okay, just take a look at my screen first. We'll go back to your screen and try. Click on it. They will ask you to search for a block. You can search for text. Okay, so when you search for text, came out a paragraph. Click on paragraph. You can then insert anything into the paragraph. So for example, you can insert like this is the article. Okay, so this is some of the paragraphs that you can insert. Now, as you start writing your blog posts or you start writing your content, right, you may want to take note of the heading levels. Okay, so this I'm just going to show you what I mean by heading level. Now, this is my title. So take a look at my screen. This is my title. Okay, these are actually my second heading. So my second heading basically explains my title. Okay, these are my second heading. These are my second heading. So if you have sub points within the second heading, that will then be your third heading. Okay, third heading, heading 3. But all the content inside are paragraphs. Okay, all this content inside are paragraphs. Now, why do you need to do so? It's because, of course, the first heading will of course be the biggest text, followed by your second heading, then your third heading, then your paragraph. So the text size is different. Aesthetically wise, you want to set it properly. However, right, another thing why you want to set it properly is because search engines will take note of these headings that you have set, right, to understand your articles. Okay, so they only understand, for example, you set H1 for your title, then heading 2 for the next few subject, right? So they use heading 2 to explain heading 1. So they will read through to understand your article for search engines. So it's very important that you set your heading properly. Okay, so how do you set your heading? If you go under your post, so for example, I have 5 reasons why. This is a paragraph, so I can leave it as it is. Let's create a new block. So to create a new block, there's a plus sign on the top left-hand corner. Click on the plus sign. And this time around, my block, right, instead of calling paragraph, I use heading. Okay, so I can click on heading. So they allow me to choose whether I want heading 2, 3, or 4. Okay, this is something that you can do. So for example, you can put like heading 2. So I said reason 1 is SSSS. Okay, and if you want another heading which explain the heading 3, you add block, then select heading, and then select on this part, you select heading 3. Okay. So you can see that the size is actually different, number one, but for the only thing that you want to do is basically for search engine to understand the content more. Okay. Any question on this headings level? May Lim. Hi, Teck Seng. Is this a page builder within WordPress at other number and type of heading presented within preset within the theme? Now, two questions here. Is this a page builder installed within WordPress? Now, everyone, this whatever you see here is part of WordPress, and it's like a page builder, but WordPress don't call it a page builder. They call it they call it an editor itself. So yeah, page builder is basically a part of a theme, and then later you will install it into your WordPress later. The second question is are the number and type of heading preset within the theme? For heading 1, 2, 3, right? It's actually okay. So when you do web design, when you do heading, it's always 1 to 6. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, all the way to heading 6. But usually we don't use up to 6, so we only have 2, 3, and 4. That's it. Okay. So this is not just it's preset in WordPress. It's actually for all platforms is also the same. Heading 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, May. Now, Jenny asked, you mentioned search engine to understand the headings. So search engine, so explain again. So what does it mean? So search engines, right, when they read your article, right, they will base on the headings to understand the whole content. So for example, your title, you search your title, right? You say 5 WordPress plugins to have high conversion website, for example, right? And you create the subtitles in it. So when WordPress reads the article or they crawl the article, they'll crawl properly so they know that this is the main topic. In order to have a main topic, they want to see what points do you discuss. So heading 2, then heading 3, and then what kind of content you have. So by using that, right, they will then be able to know whether your content is quality content or not. Okay, Jenny. Thank you. Andrew, why don't I see the plus sign? Okay, Andrew, the plus sign is on the top left-hand corner here. Later you can go back to your screen and you can see there's a plus sign on the top left-hand corner. I'm just going to highlight it or maybe draw a box here so they can see. Okay, Andrew. Okay, May, you raise your hand. You want to ask?
Oh, hi. I want to know the headings, the font types, right? Can it be changed?
Okay, the font types will then depend on the theme itself. So how the website look like later outside or in the front end, right, will depend on the theme itself.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
whatever you set here is just to set it properly so that it looks better there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take one last question, then we move on for you all to try. Okay. So Gavin asked, when SEO says key phrases in introduction, are they talking about H1, H2, or the first paragraph that appear on the top? Now this is a very SEO question. So Gavin, SEO say key phrase in introduction. Usually you want to have key phrase in your topic here. So training room can be our keywords. So we want to have this key phrase training room in our topic. So I will say H1 is important. It's also important, maybe you want to put it under H2 or H3 or even paragraph. But most important is having it in H1. Gavin. Thank you. Okay, so going back to your screen, let's give it a try. So I need you all to set up a few things. One is to set up the paragraph. Second is to set up a heading 2 and then a heading 3. Okay, so we try out the paragraph first. Okay, to install. Okay, now go back to your screen. I will just repeat my steps. Okay, to create a paragraph text, what you need to do is click on the plus sign on the top left-hand corner. Search for paragraph. If I do a screen, I'm gonna do it together with you. Okay, on the plus sign, search for paragraph. Click on paragraph. Then you can key in your first paragraph there. So for example, we are just going to key, this is a paragraph of text on why you. Whatever content you want to just write on your own, okay? No problem. Now the next thing you want to do is to add another one. We are going to add a new heading. So again, on the top left-hand corner, you can see a plus sign. Click on the plus sign and select headings. Okay. Now, once you selected headings, you need to insert your heading. So how you do is, you can just insert anything. So reason 1. And then when you click on the top right, you can see the option coming out, right? So beside the H is H2. So from there you can choose H2, H3. But for this reason 1, it's definitely going to be H2. Okay, keying anything. Okay, so this is how you get heading 1, 2, 3. So usually we will go for 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4, and then paragraph most of the time. Okay, so still on your screen, right? Try to click on the plus sign again. And then click on, now just select images. Sorry, image. So search for image. Okay. Okay, so for the image itself, you can either upload your image or select from media library, or of course insert from URL. Now we usually do not want to add our images from another URL. Okay, this will slow down your site speed. So usually we will use the upload button. So to insert a new image, right, click on the upload button. And say you just need to upload any image on the site. So I'm just going to upload my logo, for example. Okay, then click on insert, then your image will be inserted. Okay, now another SEO component about image is for image, right, is that you will need to insert alternate text for image. Alternate text basically is text that to describe your image. Now the alternate text is very important as well, because number 1, if your website do not load properly, at least the alternate text is there and people will know what is this image about, even without viewing the image. But most importantly, if you want to put it this way, you want search engine to understand what image are you putting up. Now it's also good for you to squeeze a bit of one keywords into the alternate text as well. So what you can do is, now can you just toggle back to and look at my screen? You can see under image, right, on the right hand side, there's this thing called alternate text or alt text. Okay, this is the place whereby you insert your content to describe your basically you want to describe your image itself. So you want to describe it as clear as possible. So maybe you can describe it a picture of a training room. Okay, a picture of a training room in all-star kind of thing, all-star training room. So this is something that you want to insert. Excuse me. Okay, so this is how you insert your image. I'll give you a try. If you are done inserting your image, just give me a thumbs up. Gavin, what is the difference between a alternate text and image title attributes? Image title attributes is the title itself. So the search engine will usually recognize the alternate text. Many doesn't know. We don't even touch the title attributes.
Sorry, can we leave it blank then?
Yes, you can. But the alternate text, you must key in something.
Okay, so it's fine that we can leave it blank. Okay.
Correct. Jenny, hold on for a while. We will save it later. Okay, one more component for you to insert and try. Okay, everyone, when you insert your image, just give me a thumbs up so I know that I can move on. Thank you, May. Thank you, NS. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Jensen. NG. Kevin. Jenny, you should be okay, right? Since you asked me the question. Li Feng, are you okay? And Tiffany, are you okay? Okay, good. No, not okay. Li Feng, you want to let me know about why are you not okay with? In which part are you back? Is the alternate text supposed to be displayed? Now, Lula, the alternate text will not be displayed if your image looks properly. Okay, but if your image didn't look properly, the alternate text will be displayed. Okay. Okay, let's move on. The next one we want to insert is your video. So usually you'll insert their text, image, and video. So the next one we insert is your video. So again, on the left-hand side plus sign, click on the plus sign. Okay, under the plus sign, now we just select video. If you select video, now for videos, right, if you want, you can upload your videos. But for videos, maybe we want to I advise you to insert from the URL. So to insert from video from URL, right, what you can do is just go to the video. So for example, I go under YouTube. Just take a look at my screen now. I go under YouTube and okay, let's say for example, I select any video. So I search for this 60 seconds. Okay, so this is the video I want to post. So what I'll do is there's no need for you to embed it anymore now. So I just need to simply copy the URL from YouTube and go back to my website, which is here, and click on insert from URL. Then I just insert the URL here, click on the go. And that's it. The video will then be embedded already. Okay, give it a try on your own to embed the video. While I attend to Li Fong at this point. Just give me a minute. Li Fong, are you okay? Lost in WordPress. Have you started creating? Okay, so for those who didn't see your video, I have to search. So you search. If you can't see video, right? So under the search bar, search for video. Okay, then you will be able to see video. Okay, Jenny and Jessie, let me know if you see it. Okay, can thanks. Okay. Li Fong, are you comfortable to share your screen? Let me take a look at what you see. You mute yourself. I can't hear you. Sorry.
You can see my screen on the background. Sorry,
Li Fong, do you want to share your
time.
screen and show me what you have?
Yeah. I was here. Can you see? I went to install, right? Then propagating, then it says installation already exists. So how should I go there?
Li Fong, are you okay, Li Fong?
Can you see my screen?
Actually, I cannot hear you, Li Fong. So
can you see my screen?
Unmute yourself and talk to me, or okay, I have you unmute already, but okay. So for those who, Li Fong, I cannot hear you actually. So if you're talking to me, maybe you can put on the chat. Then I can take a look at the chat. So for those who are done with the video, right, you can click on insert from URL, and then for the URL, right, you can just go under like YouTube or anywhere whereby they has the video, right? So you just copy the YouTube link and paste it to the URL. My screen at WordPress. Then you go under, so before you go under posts, click on add new. Posts.
No. Wait. It says that I have my installation. There's some error in my installation. I can't see my screen
Sorry,
now.
Jenny. I sent wrong message.
How can I come out from your view?
Any copyright to use YouTube videos? YouTube videos is actually a community video. So by actual fact, you can use YouTube video. It's just like how you view it, right? But it's just like you cannot declare that it's yours if it's not yours, right? So copy. Can we have our own video? Yes. So Lula, you can have your own video. If you have your own video, then you upload your video just like how you upload your image. Recommended to use YouTube though.
Teck Seng, I'm now at the WordPress whereby it shows install, then subculars. You mentioned here the following errors are found. Installation already existed. Can you see my?
If we have our own video. Lula, okay? Lifong, are you okay? Are you with us already?
Can you see me? Can you see my page? I actually share my page with you.
Now, once you are done, what you need to do is to publish the page, then you will go live already. But before you publish your page, right, there are two more things that you will need to do. So on the right-hand side of the post, you can see that there's a white color bar. On the white color bar, you can have, you will see there's a option that says categories. Click on the categories. Okay, for the video, so Andrew have a question. For the videos to appear in our website, need to give any acknowledgement. So no need, Andrew don't need. YouTube video is okay to embed. But you want to give them the acknowledgement also good. So Jenny asks, after I insert video, do I press the return key? Yes, Jenny. Now, once you are done, on the right-hand side, there's a categories tab. Click on the categories tab. Okay, then you will see a link that says add new categories. Click on the link, add new categories, and it will ask you for a new category name. Okay, so you just name it as maybe training room. Okay, once you name it, click on add new categories. Okay, now go back to your screen. I won't repeat your steps. You can listen to me. On the right hand side, there's a white color bar. On the white color bar, you can see categories. Click on the categories tab, and you can see add new category link. Click on the add new category link. Under the new category name, insert training room. Now, once you have insert training room as a category name, click on the add new category button. Okay, and then a category will be added. Now, the next thing you need to do is to add a featured image. Now, a featured image is basically to show up in the pages when you integrate the post and the page together. So it's also something that you want to include in all your posts. Okay, so NS asks, what is the category name for? The category name will allow you to categorize all your articles. So if your article is talking about like training rooms, and there are going to be a lot of other article about training room, then you have to put in your category name as training room. So the next time when someone were to read your blog or read your article, okay, they can then see that other related article is all about training room. So you keep your audience focused. How to edit category means you key in wrongly, is it, Lula? Jenny asks, I press close settings accidentally. How do I go back add new category? Jenny, close cats. How do you press close settings? This top right. So if you close it right, on the top right hand corner, there's a gear button, Jenny. Click on the gear button, you'll open up again. And that's yes. The name will appear on web page. Okay. Lula, I come back to you later. I finish this page, I live already, then I show you how to edit the category. Okay, so back to my page for everyone, just under the same section, there is a featured image. Click on the featured image. Jenny, you click again, cannot? It should appear. Or I come back to you later. Okay, so you can set your featured image. Click on the set featured image. Same thing. You can either upload your files. So for example, I just want to upload my featured image. You can either upload your files, any files. Like for example, I say this is one of my featured image. I click on it. Set featured image, then it will become my featured image. Do you suggest that the featured image to be one of the image used on the page for consistency? May, there's no hard and fast rule for that. You can use okay, so once you're done with the featured image, what you need to do is there is a blue button that says publish. Click on the publish. Jenny, hold on for a while. And then click on the publish again. So 2 times. Okay. Yeah, give me a while. Let me check on Jenny's side. Okay, Jenny, you can okay, you can share screen with me now. Oh, Jenny, click on the document. Okay. Same thing, categories. Okay. I will disable your share screen, Jenny. Okay, question time. I have one question here. Alternate text, title, caption, and description for featured image, must it be filled in? Does it have to contain keywords? On the SEO, okay, so the question is alternate text, caption, description for featured image must it be filled in? Okay. Most important one is alternate text. So fill in the alternate text. The other ones, if you want to fill in, will be good. If you don't want, it's okay. Second question, does it have to contain keywords? Yes, you can insert your keywords into your alternate text, right? But it's not a must. Okay, Kevin, hope that answers your question. Yeah, I have another question. Okay, noted difference. All right. Once you publish the page, once you publish the post, you'll see that the link is now live. You can click on the link to view the post. Okay. How the page will look like will depend on the theme, which will then set tomorrow when we insert the theme. Okay. Now, for those who are able to see your posts, can you just give me a thumbs up so that I know if you are with me? Give me, Jenny, Cindy, Andrew, Francis, thank you. NG, thank you. Jenny, once you are done, on the right hand side, there's a publish button. Click on the publish button twice. Okay, so seems most of you already got it. Got your post up already. Okay, good, Jenny. Thank you so much. Okay, so now this is what is going to happen. We have finished up the post already. So what we're going to do is that for tomorrow, right, we are going to improve the function of your websites by using plugins, as well as we are going to install themes as well. Now the themes will then improve your design of your whole website itself. So what you see right now, the design is not the design you're going to get by the end of the day. Okay, so this is just a default theme, as you can see on the current site. Okay, if not, then that will be all that I want to teach today. Maybe I can just leave the last 5 minutes to answer any question that you all have on hand right now. Any question that you want to ask me? Anyone?
Yeah, actually do. But
okay.
but it's
if no question, then Okay, if no question, then I don't want to hold you all back. I will call you a day for today. Tomorrow we will be back here at the same time again, 2 o'clock, and then we'll go through two things: plugin and themes. Okay. The video will be processing for today. So tomorrow I'll share with you the video links as well. Okay, for the YouTube videos. All right. If not, then thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Teck Seng, do you have time to actually 5 minutes out of this room, or wait for tomorrow?